I don't have to ask if you can hear me, do I? Of course not, because I know you can hear me. It's gonna get stupid. It's gonna get stupid because I got that fire. I don't even need to ask because I got backup system after backup system. I am the most. I got a whole alien spaceship in the studio. Press one. Ringo TV gonna have to ask himself, what the fuck is you using all them monitors for if you not using them? Press one. Press one. Oh, I miss you guys. Ooh, I miss y'all. I miss y'all. I've been studying. I've been under the weather, over the weather. Ah, ah. And I had to realize, you know, what's the importance of the role? I had to remember. I had to take time off recollection and start to remember the fabric. I sound like Sanchetta, huh? That fabric. Oh my goodness. I had to remember that core fabric. Lord, I had to get back to. I remember I had to get back to what's important here at the university and the vision and what I expect not only from the students and the viewers and the chat or whatever the moderators, but also of myself. And I don't want to let my audience down, especially my supporters, and then vice versa. All y'all don't be wanting to let me down, so it works in a weird spherical world that we all interact on right here. It's kind of like Professor X's X-Men, because we some smart motherfuckers over here. Press what? I got I got the Christians talking about science. I got the science motherfuckers recognizing God. Press one. What I'm gonna do is prove God exists by way of science. Press button, hit the like button. So they can stop being atheists and running off with mushroom concepts and all of their allegorical gods is nothing more but trajectories, and false people they hold up as scientists. That's dating back, well, early 1900s. That means Einstein. No, well, Einstein is a face. So we're gonna play it on that card. Shout out to the moderator. Shout out to Sid. What's up, champ? You see the title. Uh, the title is the cosmic. What is it? The cosmic mind of he who lives. Trauma, time, memory association, wheel of time, and the time loop. Are we clear on that? Are we clear in that? I don't want to be talking about all of this other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm discussing here. It's an interesting topic. I think I just opened up the conscious community to a thought process, so that's dope. I know over the past few years, it's been an overload in the neurons that connect they they eyes to their brain. Press one, so they've been given a false light in that seat of the soul that they call the pineal gland, which lights their whole brain up. Press one. So Lucifer is the light bringer in their world. We went over this concept a lot of time, and it's all by way of the light that they believe is external, AE, science, fiction, NASA, planetary system circling around the false sun that was set before God and not the sun that he sends to redeem his people. And separating the two between the Pan Africans and this Greek society of whatever. Oh. Big balls. Big ones. Big balls, nigga. You were going for the gusto. When David fought Goliath, he had a sling. He's going for the predator's throat. The jugular. What? trying to find the perfect scientific, but simple, scientific yet simple that the people be able to understand. So we add the urban scientific twist to it by way of Mr. Gillespie himself again. Thank you, thank you. Press one, Akuna Batata. Hit that like. Yours, Professor Gill. Another subject at the rope. Nah, common courtesy, common courtesy, conversation. Nothing is wrong because looking back on the He Who Lives, all of these grand perspectives, especially like 19 Keys and how they wander off into these great perspectives. I was looking at Billy Carson, looking like the praying mantis of the world. Brother, I was looking back at Billy Carson and I was watching him perform. I'll be watching them how they hypothesize these things with no scientific basis, nothing really other than a few clips of some happy music or something. And so I'm like, how do they trick these people with this? So I say, damn, this is what I'm up against. If my mic is low, I apologize. I apologize. My name ain't Dude Samson Edwards. My name ain't Dude. So you must be trying to make friends with my audience, dude. Come on, bruh. Why my mic gotta be low, dude? Why you see my name? Is my name up there? He a hater. He a hater. He's a born hater. He's a born hater. That's all. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Edwards. I'm sorry. If it's too low for you, maybe your ears are small. I don't know. Maybe you just got small ears. It's like a person with no lips drinking hot tea or coffee. You can burn a little bit. You know, but gotta put some effort into it, champ. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, the mind of he who lives, the cosmic mind. So I was thinking, said, since we were talking about uh, the satellite, the artificial. Let me put this closely so Edward, retarded ass in the back, can hear. Like he really taking notes and go take part. You feel me? Hit that like button and subscribe. So, since we were in that scientific world, Taj may want to get into this conversation. This may be a doozy. I was thinking, and a lot of other people was thinking, but I was thinking, oh, who invented the uh, the telescope that projects the artificial sun? The illusion transmitter. Thank you. Well, I meant whoever invented it, what the name of it is, but the illusion transmitter. That's what we was talking about that whole a few months back, and we were trying to figure out what it was actually projecting. Remember? Now these are for my students. Shout out to everybody, but you know I come on the air just shout out to my students. We were talking about uh, what it was actually projecting and how and something of that sort. So while I was feeling under the weather this weekend and took the time to overthink, I mean really overthink these things and really get into that. Uh, lightning bolts after lightning bolts. When you got storms in LA, there's some good electricity around. Press one, so you might want to get a charge up. So I was really activating my mind this weekend here in California, and I was thinking, how and what and who, and we got that Valerie Thomas and Nas and all of these things. But how are they projecting? How is this shit happening? Then we started talking about a planetary system, spheric, right? We start talking about that. Then these shows and stuff on Netflix, domed, and our flat earthers talking about we're flat with the dome, and just trying to put it all these pieces in a puzzle. Because maybe you are, maybe you're trapped in a dome with a planetary system blasted up in the air, right? This is just conversation. You can chime in at any time. Feel free to do so. So I was thinking, maybe, maybe they are projecting the universe. Maybe the universe is being projected. This is just free thing, science class conversation. Maybe they're projecting the universe out. Like one of them things you buy off of Amazon, you put in your room, and they got that little dome, the spheric dome with the little octagon, little shape is like octagon, clear bowl shaped around it, and it's like a perfect universe. You never seen one of those? They sell them 40 to 150 to 300-400 dollars, like projectors. Oh shit, like projectors. It's a projector, like that. So I was thinking I would bring it to class to get a great discussion going on about what you might think, because we got a few conversations coming up, but that is from the cosmic perspective. Because I've been thinking about it for a minute, for a long time, and we've been inching our way towards the answer a long time, step by step. And each aha moment uh, was a damn. Is it it? Is that what it was? Then it grows into something like, yes, but there's more. It's like, but wait, there's more. Like there's levels to the shit. You gotta like learn and understand until you can even progress. So I just want to make sure the people, at least the audience, can get a few calls in before, because we talking about the universe and all of that. Now I hear these people that be talking about the universe and how expansive it is and how unexplored it is and how black hole and stars and moon and all of these great cosmic things. Then I hear these other theories of there's just water and it's not, you really can't go outer space and all of these other things. I just want to know from that perspective what you think. Is light being projected outwardly, creating the universe? Help me understand, because it's this important that we understand this, because this is, in my theory, in my scientific theory, this is what the difference between AI and God. And it's going to be as simple as that being played out on Earth and right before our eyes type of thing. Literally. Is that AI? Or now what I mean by AI, the world may not know, but in my version of AI in the Gillespie theory or algorithm, my version of the AI is Albert Einstein's theory of relativity and his false sense of perception that the world has allowed itself to be molded by, where Saturn is, and the gods that you believe in, sisters, are giving validation to the false gods that Eve, my queens, believe in. Press one, hit the like button and subscribe. That nigga Kev hit him in the gut. Bam! I was thinking about that. Real tough, G. Ah, you can. My turn. Press one, conscious. Y'all said y'all want to be conscious. Let's play around in conscious. So what is that? I'm going a little conscious on them. No conscious community. We're gonna show the conscious community we conscious too. You feel me? I'm trying to get to the basics of how y'all even came up. Did AI even? Did you even have a basis or a foundation of your religion before AI created it? Press one. Do you understand? Now, if you understand that, you belong at KevRow. That's a shame. Yeah, you belong here. Now, if you understand that, you belong here. Because you know, y'all running around the earth talking about y'all live in a simulation. Well, don't you want to find out what type of artificial intelligence your ass believe? Press one. Are y'all just scared of the person who gonna show it to you? Press one. I'm telling you, I just make this shit look good. This is just a holographic projection of the real me. I just make this shit look good. This body ain't even real. It's not. Trust me, I'm artificial and I'm a 3D image of myself. That's what? Somewhere else. I ain't even here, G. I got super knowledge. Super knowledge, I'm going to teach you. Watch. Easy. So you don't have to make a fool of yourself trying to join up stuff. And you can just come to KevRow, join the Patreon, and supersede everybody in what they doing. Okay. Okay, so let me explain to my audience what I mean. That's the bungalows. Shout out to my bungalows, all the Democratic folk who over here. This is what I mean. Hit the like button and subscribe. This is what I mean. And black people, my black Democratic people, you don't know what this is. This is your brain on drugs. That's I'm sorry, they understand that? This is your brain on drugs. I'm sorry. Welcome to fucking Shutter Island and shit. Let me do something real fast. Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. So this is what? This is the whole reason you in space. Press one to prove Albert Einstein's theory of relativity reality. Hit that like button and subscribe. This here, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Because my audience, they need me to prove it to them. I can't just speak. Okay? So, you can't just speak. You gotta understand in the simplistic form of science, ladies and gentlemen. I got that consciousness that Sanchetta be looking for. Press one. What I mean by that is you can go on any Google image. This is easy for y'all. This is easy. Because I'm not about to say nothing that the science community would disagree with me. And what I mean by science community, I'm not talking about the black science community and the conscious community where they don't even invest in lab coats, microscopes, telescopes. They don't talk nothing. I'm just playing, y'all. I just want to fuck with y'all. You feel me? I'm fucking the only niggas over there don't do nothing. They doctor this and doctor that. At least my projector is up. So, classroom. This is bungalow week. right here at the Raw. I got to talk like I'm straight urban community. Okay. In the school that you went to, in the Democratic elected communities, you was taught this: the Earth is round. There's a void or something, whatever. It's a satellite pointed out. Now that satellite is pointing from Rome. It's called satellite what? Can somebody tell me what is the biggest satellite in America that can see the biggest, furthest, and get the most depiction of Satan on Saturn damn near? Press one. Get the face of Satan in space some damn where. Can anyone tell me what the name of that is and where it is, please? Thank you. So anyway, let's go. Now, the whole basis of what you believe rides off of this concept developed by AI. Do you agree or disagree with the statements that I made?
Not like this.
Do you agree?
Not like this.
Or disagree? This gonna separate the men from the. Well, my nigga Gene Deal, this gonna separate the men from the boys. Do you agree? Soon as the name come up in my chat, you gonna understand exactly what I mean. What is the name of the satellite or telescope, excuse me, sitting over there in Rome? But we gonna look at it from this fake ass satellite position, but in reality, it's the telescope that they can see from Rome. Lucifer telescope. Okay, they got that telescope. Look, in Arizona, that's why they said the devil in Arizona. But look, it's developed and is made to prove the sky, the planets, relativity, E equals MC squared, time is motion. This is why everything in a way, gravity, everything. Can we all agree on that? Okay. So from that perspective, you got to say your knowledge of the universe was given to you by Albert Einstein, AI. This is scripture too, like Jeremiah and AI. Like the final battle is AI, but not like AI robotic, like AI anti-God theory. We shouldn't fear artificial intelligence. Nigga, I'm finna write a book, fool. Press one. You don't fear artificial intelligence. You control that. Y'all quit playing with me. AI, Albert Einstein, quantum theory, what explains the universe versus God's theory. Now, God's theory is tough to believe because it's a book. Press one. I understand it's a book. You gotta like really have faith and belief and attach it to a part of life in this way and actually like become part of it to even grasp the possibility of why you should even turn from your wicked way and to have faith that you turning in your wicked way for God and like, damn, I am with. So self-sacrificing, acknowledge God you can't even see. And this word is a lot. Or just take AI's word for it that the universe was created and it's like this. And we know because we got a satellite flight now, and we got a satellite and we got a telescope here, just big as Lucifer eye, and it's all dealing with the eye and pointing outwardly and bringing it in and Saturn and all of this Greek god planetary system and placing gods in the heavens above and so they can be like God. Press one. That's crazy. That's kind of like Council of Nicaea mixing paganism with true biblical historical prophecy, historical record, royal families, this, that, and the third, as they say in my communities. Copy? Okay. Cool. So what are they saying here? They're saying, trust my word. I'm the observer because I'm observing the universe and what I'm saying is true. I'm looking out at Saturn right now and I can see at this degree, this is right here and this is going to separate and amongst this timeline is this and that and all of these wonderful stories, which is good. They kept me entertained when I was a kid for trying to just get an A in class. Press one, remember? Really didn't understand it though. And you don't have to pretend you did, even though you got a passing grade, and I didn't. I'm just, I'm gonna put you over me at this moment in time in history when I didn't know shit. Nah, seven, that made my nigga laugh. Look, told you, I ain't know shit. So I was, wow. Y'all know, y'all students know all this, and now I'm at a point where it's like, wow, Kev knows a lot. Why? And how? So, at this point, I had to realize and take into account different scientific equations and explaining and trying to explain it in a scientific way that the people can understand. And our people like pictures, like just hurry up and get to the point type of shit. And although I hate that, they got a point. You know, you just got to get to the fucking point. Okay, so I started really observing AI and the theory and how it relates to Antichrist and artificial intelligence. I mean, if you can teach this to parents and people, wouldn't they teach it to their children? And wouldn't they teach it to their children? And let me ask you a question. And while we're at school, if you found out that none of this was real, would that make you incompetent? Hello. Would that make you open to believing Mickey Mouse deserved more sovereignty? Well, we'll get to we'll get to that. So I remember I showed you the monkey with the mushroom. So you gonna believe that. Evolution. Quantum theory, evolution. You think that they have calculated, this is how boastful Hitler and them was. And then we get the footage of today and laugh at them saying they went to the moon and they convinced their propagandists to do this. And we look at, how did they convince the people in the 40s and 50s that they was flying around in space in these paper planes? Like, it's gotten ridiculous the further I go back in time and look at American and UCCP propaganda dealing with space travel and space launches in the early 1930s and 40s and the 50s and 60s. And I'm gonna be showing that to you guys today, tomorrow, coming up this week on this program. But it's almost hilarious that our people believe, grown adults. But you got to remember, it was all a stage and theater. But to think they sold it to people. To think. So anyway, let's stay the course. Of course, Damon, life was a stage. But the thing about life being a stage, Damon, you have to prove it. It's easy to say. Not one of y'all proved it. You see, Damon, listen to me, Damon. Life is a stage is easy to say. Millions of people said that before you. Hooray, you said something. Hooray. Okay. But from our perspective, shit, Jupiter and Venus is the gods, and that's the stage. So how is life the stage? How is it? You got to be able to explain that. So do that. Like me, like I'm doing. So you're right. But how is it? And what's the secrets behind you knowing it's a stage, champion? That's going to be the kicker. Press one. That's going to be the kicker. That's going to let the people know, oh, this guy's our troll, our woman is great. So come back when you ready. Come back when you ready. This is just freestyle conversation with my classroom. Don't feel like you wrong or you need to just, you know, just believe in yourself. I believe in you too. Go ahead. So I want to put this picture up because I've come to the conclusion since we biblically talking about these scientific issues, I would like to add my 2 cents. I got a question for my audience, and that's why I'm really talking to Said and them and trying to see what they think about this equation. Oh, B, my man B is in the chat. B, or if you listening, feel free to call in. I forgot. Now, this is the graph I was showing a few weeks ago when we were, well, a few months ago when we were talking about this. The observer's position on Earth. Remember Nipsey? We don't turn a dream into a zenith, and all of the terminology that came with it. Thus, coming observer on Earth, spheric, around the celestial mirroring Earth. You get it? Earth. Okay, so let's place this in the Earth. I just wanted you to see it up close. Okay? From a flat, all the way around level position, but a celestial meridian going around and then a horizontal azimuth, or whatever that term is correctly. I'm not sure how to pronounce things. Y'all know I ain't went to y'all schools or nothing, but you see it there. Okay, so let's take it. For instance, if it wasn't on in space, right? If space isn't real, does that make science not real? That's going to be a question they're going to have to answer within themselves before we get to that point. And shout out to those. But if the way people perceive space isn't real, does that negate science? Is an awesome question. Press one. Wow. Yes. Yes. Final answer. I just answered the most important question. This is what everybody is having a problem with. No, because if we answered it, that'll make everything, that'll make the whole trajectory of. Yes, if you are taking an Einstein approach, which is here, ladies and gentlemen, with an external view of the universe, going out looking for a star in the universe in which you allegorically call what? That people believe. You understand what I'm saying from that level of perspective. So think. Don't be afraid to. So, satellite, observatories, telescopes. But let's play the satellite game. Satellite, something looking external for some type of intelligent design. There's something out there, some type of boop. Well, if you're looking for a boop, and that's the satellite, that almost sounds like a dead person in a coma state, and the neural in the brain, it's being searched out somehow. If you know it, if you catch my drift, there are theories out there asking quantum theories, of course, and you know I love that. Is the universe actually playing out in the human mind? Press one. I would even go even further. Are the eyes acting as a holographic and helping project and see what false light or an artificial light? Help me understand what that means. But satellite, observer, outward, star. You get it? Satellite, observer, star, outer of the inner. Okay, so let's take it from the Gillespie perspective using this model here. Press one, because I'm saying this is irrelevant. Everything here is happening inside the earth. Press one. See, you're going to have to uh, pay attention to what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is this is what they believe is going on the outside of the earth is going on inside the what is called here the celestial meridian. Press one. Everything. I want you to grasp that for a minute. We're going to have fun coming up on the show. Y'all know I'm running my conspiracy show, or my Joe Rogan thought, but it's really the mind of a conscious black man type stuff. But waking up, allowing others to just wake up and freely express themselves and be open to that during those programs. So this, in the background, with the satellite, Albert Einstein's theory, AI, press one, is a anti to the natural, which would be the same thing. You see me, I'm just reversing it so you can get the grand perspective for those extra Democrats who need help. This would be the upside down version of that pointing outward. You see the observer, the altitude, all that pointed outward. But let's flip it black and round so people can see. I just wanted to make note of that. If you turn it around the other way, you will see it. But the satellite is playing the observer's position. You see that? The observer, remember it was in the quantum physics and it said what? The particles, all act different when knowing it's been observed. They're trying to find God out here. My theory, and this is just a theory, what if God's whole intention was to be the observer in here? You're here, and y'all don't know, you don't know what this is. But what if God is born incarnate in the earth as a projection of him? Well, we'll get to that. KevRow TV.
Yes, sir.
Conspiracy Hour. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Professor Edward. I'm from Canada.
Oh, my
territories.
Goodness. Well, welcome to the show. What you think about what I'm saying here,
Yes,
champion?
I'm looking at your picture that's up here with behind your observer.
Okay.
And it looks like a matrix to me in a way. The lines, the green. So I get that feeling
from the movie. It's kind of like, okay. So would you say that the Albert Einstein theory and approach to the universe could possibly feel like the synthetic matrix?
Absolutely.
My
if you're
point
not
exactly.
educated in scripture,
yes,
then you're easily miseducated.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
So I kind of make
alternative.
I make a lot of sense to you.
Amen. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So what else? What else you got on your mind?
Well, I went to 1828. I looked at satellite, which means a follower.
Oh. Okay.
So now you have a following going against God. If you're not for God, you're against law, right? So
So a satellite
You're following.
is a beacon. Let's put it into an allegorical yet scientific perspective. Could you say, what would you represent that as?
Allegorical. I mean, well, I try to keep it real, man. I mean, that's what you
keep it real. Go ahead, man. Keep it real. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, like the definition of satellite, a follower. So these guys need a following in order to display their grand architecture. They need a subservient, someone who's a subordinate.
What type of subordinate society is needed for AI's view of the universe to contradict God's universe in a subject in an asylum ran society? Go ahead.
As you said, you would need an asylum. You would need wards of this. You would need people to be a ward over, babysit them, man-child, you call it.
That's right. So how...
You need a bunch of baby boys.
A bunch of baby boys.
Yeah. Attached to the teeth. Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, and it's yeah. I can go on, but
no, you can go on. Go on.
Well, I go on tangents too much. I'm trying to control my banter, so I want to stay on topic with you, and I appreciate you, King.
Thank you, Kevin. My man, enjoy the rest.
Yes,
Kevin.
Sir.
My man, well said. He said, well, that's like the Matrix. And yes. And the Matrix is of this. This is a part of it but remember, I'm saying all this is going on in your brain. And your ass is hypnotized. And you welcome to Shutter Island. Press 1. Your ass is hypnotized. I'm going to show you how. And this is going to make sense to all the smart scholars like himself, biblical scholars from all different walks of biblical scholarship and theology. I'm going to help everybody out. Just think a little more. The Moors, that was bars. The Moors, everybody at one time. KevRow, courtesy of KevRow. Okay. So let me bring this photo up here and let you know that a lot of people are going to have an aha moment when you see why they placed E equals MC squared in the mind. Now, if you can see this from a democratic perspective, and I've helped you understand, you don't have to go to school. Can you understand what I'm saying? You don't even like science. You don't even like science. Kev making science dope, bro. Press 1. Get up out of here. We ain't talking about Crip Mac or nothing. So look. So, is it all in your head? Is what Shutter Island is about. Press 1. Now, if you understand what I'm saying, holler at me. Because guess what? What I'm saying is, it's all in your head. I'm right. Y'all wrong. Press 1. It's written. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Albert Einstein and all of this stuff is Antichrist belief system put forth as a cover to the religious structure and trick you and your forefathers into believing in Satan and the fallen stars you placed back up in the sky as gods. Hit the like button and subscribe if
Press
you
1.
Can you hear me now? Dr. King, can you hear me? KevRow University, Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air, what up?
Hey, Kev, what's going on? It's B calling in from Texas.
B from Texas. What's up, champion?
Kev,
huh?
Man, I'm looking at the. Can you hear me good?
I can hear you okay. You got a slight echo, and I want to make sure you are perfect. So,
Hold
uh,
on. Hold
yeah,
on.
and
Let me
and the
see.
audience is wide awoke right now, so I'm enjoying that. I'm gonna do a couple shout outs as you get your microphone together, and shout out to the people who just contributed to this program. If you haven't, make your way make your way over to this program for this excellent, never heard before thought process.
Yes, sir.
MDM Towing. He's enjoying that out there somewhere. They out there. Shout out to them for contributing this type of podcast and allowing us what they call dead or black folk to and all folk to enjoy this conversation. Glenn Mack for watching Loki. If you haven't watched Loki, go watch it. Excellent series over there at Disney. I know y'all know about Disney, but we've been watching it though. Go watch Loki. Okay, Saving Landry. He taking all the criticism. Shout out to him. Deborah, Taj, Glenn Mack, Kristen Lynn, Deluge, Mr. Jefferson, and Jason Harrison. Love y'all out there for supporting the truth. Go ahead, champion.
All right, Kill. All right, like, right, and
Wait,
it's
you
showing.
broke up. You broke up. You what you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, you got the picture of the satellite, and it's showing that everything being outside of Earth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you got the other model with the observer on the inside, and it's even showing the star being on the inside of what they call the celestial meridian.
Right.
All right, I went straight to scripture
Okay.
to that's our filter. So
That's our. We
all
gonna
right, I
say.
wanna.
You know how the people say that's confirmation right there. That's our confirmation when we get to the scriptural part of it. That's like the foundation of the earth law and the word and trust in God. So when we say we go into the scripture with it, we just putting our theories to the test. And then since we got a solid foundation, and B seems to have found a solid foundation, a good base for this theory. Man, I think,
Yes, sir.
I don't even know which one you got, but go ahead.
All right, I'm looking at the celestial meridian, and I
Uh-huh.
said, okay, boom, that's the firmament. Okay.
Go ahead.
Then when it so I went to Genesis,
Okay.
Genesis chapter 1. I'm gonna start at verse 14, Genesis 1:14.
Yes.
All right, it says, and God said, let there be light in the firmament of the heavens.
Oh my goodness.
To the, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
To divide the day from night.
To
And let
divide the
them
day
be
from
for
night.
signs.
What is the light? Wait. That's the Terminator, solar Terminator. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
All right. And it says, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years.
Go ahead.
15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth.
Wow.
And it was so.
Wow.
Right there at 15, when it said, let it be for lights in the firmament, not outside. It said
In the firmament.
So that's why I'm like, yeah, that Einstein model is in opposition
To God.
to God.
So
Yes,
Einstein is the authenticator of, let's say, Einstein as a person, even though it's an institutionalized. We're gonna get to that another time. But let's go with Einstein is the author of the AI or the Antichrist program and signals here in our world. I'm fucking pissed off like fucking Morpheus right now. Go.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what they are, bro. Like when I looked at that, and then I look at this model, that model is what it is. Everything inside, like it's on the star inside of the model. They using celestial meridian instead of firmament, but that's it right there. even when I go to 16, it says, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. And God set 17, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. So now I go to being for like what I observe. You ever seen like during the day you still see the moon, and they used to be like if I think about it how they think, it don't make sense.
It don't make
like,
sense.
How can
Like
I see
how
the
could I?
moon in the sun?
Yeah. And millions
Yeah,
of people
bro.
believe that, and then they are like, "Wow, how could it's not true?" Because the universe can't be like that. Because I see the moon and the sky right now in the same sky, and
That same time.
when we was kids, we believed. Wait, the sun went down, the moon went up. This was the way the cartoons programmed us by way of the square black box and sitting in the middle of the room. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So when I read the scripture, then I look at that model, I'm like, yeah, that model fits perfectly to what the scripture saying. It's saying that God set it inside the firmament. So all of them trying to make everything outside and trying to convince us that they going outside, it don't coincide with the scripture. It's not reality, and it don't even make sense.
It don't even make sense to you.
No, not at all, bro.
Okay.
Not at all.
So E equals MC squared don't make sense to you from the perspective of the AI.
Nah, you have to be pretending to, we do what we got to do to get the grade when we in school. But, if I sit here and be like, yeah, E equals MC squared, I'll be pretending, bro. I'm just going to keep it real. It's simple. God, simple. He told you already. So,
With my theory and my theologian perspective on this religion here, and my theory with this here, my bad, the matrix, with the zenith of the observer being on the level of a certain plane in a certain degree, would that mean that the world evolves around the observer or the internal black sun or the outside sun that the satellite would be projected in your brain that exists out there somewhere?
it's going to be for me the inside, the black sun being on the inside. When I had to look up them terms to see what these things really,
Yes.
really meant.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
I'm looking at zenith, how, all right, just on the model, the zenith is above and everything, and then the observers look like it come down from the zenith. You see what I'm saying? So I looked up what zenith means. It says that point in the visible celestial hemisphere, which is vertical to the spectator, which I would say the observer. And it says, and from which a direct perpendicular line passes through the spectator and extended would proceed to the center of the earth. It is opposite of nadir.
The spectator could be a witness.
Yes, sir. Sent from above.
Now wait a minute. Now, okay. Let me bring this up for the. Okay, so let the mind of Mr. Gillespie work. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is what makes this different. Okay, let me just I'm about to go to war with the Pan Africans. They ready for me, so I gotta be ready. This is the training room. You ever play Fight Night and you gotta like punch the punching bag before the good fight? Cause Sadetadum is here. Trust me, I can feel them. For sure. Aboriginal like
they gotta learn.
I'ma just sit back, man. I would try to come in with the shit and Kev, man. Whoo, he got up out of here. But that's my man. Shout out to Aboriginal TV, man. If y'all out there, man, shout out to y'all too. Shout out to everybody on Earth. Shout out to everybody on Earth. So I brought that up.
Okay.
So zenith is again. Say again.
Okay, zenith. I'm gonna read the definition again.
Okay.
That celestial hemisphere, which is vertical, and from which a direct perpendicular line passes through the spectator and extended, would proceed to the center of the earth. It is opposite of nadir. Okay, so like just seeing even the model, the observer is aligned with zenith, like the zenith point, which is from the celestial hemisphere, like the definition says.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like the observer is from up, is sent from above. That's what I see. You know, that's how I see it.
Okay.
And all right, when it said nadir,
Yes.
I'm like,
Opposite
okay,
of
what's
nadir.
nadir?
Like Nader from the movie Cars, like Pooh Shiesty looking car, that truck. That's Nader. Oh, that's
Yeah,
Mater or something like
yeah,
that.
that's
But
Mater.
that's Mater. But
Yeah, it's Mater. I thought about that too.
it's like
I ain't
it
gonna
may
lie,
be
I
a
thought about that
null-minded
too.
person or something like that. But go ahead, tell me. Did you look that up?
Yeah, I looked up nadir.
What is it?
It's got two definitions. The first definition is natara, to be like, proportional, corresponding to, or opposite. Okay, then we got the second definition, that point of the heavens or lower hemisphere directly opposite of zenith, the point directly under the place where we stand. So nadir would be like, you got zenith up above, you got nadir, I would be looking like underworld. Now, I looked up synonyms for it too. Let me pull that up. The synonym for nadir.
Y'all see why I love these conversations? Because I said I can have these conversations in my mind and just have them, or I can come online and let the callers. If you could be a heavy thinker and not even know it. Somebody might think your ass is autistic and you really be thinking about this.
I promise I was talking to my people last night. They like, oh yeah, be tripping. You just don't know, bro. I'm down my head. You gonna get it.
y'all see the autistic niggas over there on KevRow studying that bullshit.
For real.
That's all right.
They trying to tell me. It's a different subject, but they trying to tell me how J.P. Morgan been saved the government. I'm like, bro, you tripping. But, you know, that's another topic. I'm like, bro, you tripping, man. You don't get it, bro.
Go ahead, Jeff.
But, all right, look. I looked up the synonyms for nadir. Okay, the strongest match that they had, it said rock bottom. I'm like, whoa, bro.
What? Rock bottom?
Rock bottom. Okay. Then you got base, bottom, floor, all-time low, low point. So you got zenith is the high point, and then you got nadir as the rock bottom, just the lowest form, the bottom. So I was like, yeah, that was interesting when it comes to that. Then, all right. I also looked up.
So the zenith connects to the observer. The observer can see the star.
Yes, sir.
So the star.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Zenith, observer. What is that? Center of the earth. So that could be like the initial middle of the earth. Like Atlantis? Was Atlantis? Did they say Atlantis was the center of the earth?
I'm not sure. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. That's to my other people in the other side of the classroom. You're not sure because you know you you know, Atlantis and Aquaman and stuff, you really don't know.
I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up, bro.
That's all
Yes,
right.
sir.
So I'm learning how to merge all my classrooms together, and this is going to be quite the experience for Professor X. So go ahead.
All right. Now the whole that whole model, they had it's a word called what is it called? Azimuth. Azimuth. All right.
Okay.
Now, when I looked that up, and as you can see the model, all right, their model north is like what zenith is, right? To my knowledge, north will be north.
But the
So
Hellenistic,
model,
the Hellenistic approach to what the Earth looks like, or whatever. Go ahead.
right. But if you look at the azimuth model, north is right there to the right of the observer.
Who?
You see the end?
Who?
You see the observer? North, like the directional north.
Oh, north is where?
It's right there where the end is to the right.
Oh.
The end.
Oh.
That's north.
Oh, I see what you mean. So
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now when I looked it up.
That's why the maps.
Right.
That's why the maps are fucked up. Go ahead. That's why they keep saying, "Why are the maps?"
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. All right. When I looked that up.
Depends
on
on the perception of the map maker. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now I looked that up, and it helped when I look up the Asmo model. I can understand, all right, why they got 360 degrees, and then why, like, you know, when they can measure coordinates based on that from the observer north, and then going clockwise. It goes clockwise, the azimuth model, not counterclockwise. It goes clockwise.
So so that brings me back to the religions. Let's pause there, get back to the audience, now to my audience. Do you remember when I told y'all that all the major religions worship God backward and go counterclockwise, thus being contrary to God and open worship? This is what I mean. So go back to what you said about what the proper way of doing things. This is just another way. A proper way of doing things is clockwise.
It's clockwise, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Now, like on the azimuth model, if you see starting north, like that going north,
yes,
they go the degrees. They go if you look at it, it's going clockwise. It's showing the arrow azimuth next to north. It's going clockwise all the way around, back around the north. And then that's how they even can find coordinates on everything.
It looks like an arrow, don't it?
Yes, sir.
So that can be a form of allegoric, horoscopic belief of when it's really like something what they think is out is in. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now, they even have, I found this right here on like the degrees on when they find this stuff. All right, they're saying a circle 360 degrees.
Yeah.
You go on northeast will be 22 and a half, northeast 45, east, northeast 67, adding another 22 and a half degrees, east 90.
From the point perspective of the bungalows, what the hell are you adding these numbers for? From the perspective of the bungalows, where did you get these numbers from? What are you doing? My bad. 'Cause you know, we're working with our people right now. Go ahead.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, I had to look at it too. All right, from the point
I mean, they using pencils. Number two, they're like, hold up, where the fuck is he with that? I felt that in my soul. Where you get these numbers from? Go ahead.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna read the azimuth, and it'll catch us up the definition. It says an azimuth is an angular measurement in spherical coordinate system which represents the horizontal angle from a cardinal direction, mostly most commonly north.
So is one is it one of
Mathematically,
those masonry measuring rods?
well, it's more like I'm gonna send you this picture.
Yeah, just let me know
I'm,
what it is first. You know, I mean,
it's like a compass.
okay, so it's a sky compass. Okay, it's like a compass
Yes,
or
sir.
what?
Yeah, it's exactly that's exactly what I see.
Let
Look,
me ask you a question. Does the star identify the observer?
it has to. It has to. It's connected. Like the observer and the star is connected. But like yeah, it does.
Okay,
Basically, yes, sir.
okay. You can get back to
Yes,
what you were
sir.
saying. I just wanted. I'll just be free thinking. Let the audience
No,
free think.
I feel you. Cause hey, to be honest, just to understand the little bit I caught, like yeah, I had to really think about it. Okay, I sent you that picture too.
Okay, I'm finna
With
grab it.
the Asmo. Okay,
Ah,
I'm gonna go back to
okay,
the definition.
okay.
Yes, sir. And it reminds me of also the picture of dang, what's the picture with the Alpha and Omega on it? The name of it.
Oh, the Chiro, or the
The Chiro.
or yes.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That's the same thing to me. Okay. All right. Mathematically, the relative position vector from an observer or origin at the point of interest is projected per, perpendicularly onto a reference plane, the horizontal plane. The angle between the projected vector and a reference vector on the reference plane is called the azimuth. Okay? When used as a celestial coordinate, the azimuth is the horizontal direction of a star or other astronomical object in the sky. The star is the point of interest. The reference plane is
The
the local
star
area.
is the point of interest.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
coming from a
Go.
perpendicular angle. Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. It says
Actually, in the middle of this, excuse me, it says something about true north. Reading true north. So go ahead. That's what it says
yes,
in the
sir. Not
center
that
of
jumped
this.
out to me too.
Yes. Because if you're talking true north, you're talking this way and not that way. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay. The star is the point of interest. The reference plane is the local area around an observer on Earth's surface. And the reference
So the
vector point
observer is
is,
on Earth's surface.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
That
sir.
makes sense. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. It says, and the reference vector point to true north. True north. The azimuth is the angle between the north vector and the star's vector on the horizontal plane. Azimuth is usually measured in degrees. In the position range 0 to 360, so that'll be all the way around the surface. It says, or in the sign range, negative 180 to positive 180. The concept is used in navigation, astronomy, engineering, mapping, mining, and ballistics. So I was like, wow,
Oh,
bro, like
damn.
all of
Okay.
those all of those things got the navigation, all right, the astronomy, all right, the engineering, mapping, then even mining, bro. I was like, wow, bro. That
Wait a minute.
something.
So
Yeah.
does that sound familiar?
Yes, sir, it
Okay,
does.
now if you've been in my historical class, then you would know let's take it to history. There's only one person who will have that commodity. Let's talk this nation at the time.
That would be King George.
Okay, so if George would, let's say George was the centerpiece.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Thinking
that
of it from a
is.
historical perspective.
And it made me think about that I would say machine, like the gold deal. Like what do they call it? Man, dang, bro.
Because those are the
I can't
major
remember.
manufacturers, which you named was the major manufacturers that jump-started our nation.
Yes, sir.
So he would.
All of the
Yes. So name them again. What industry was it? Say it again. Look at them as industries.
You got navigation.
Okay.
Okay. You got astronomy.
Go ahead.
Like you said, not astrology, astronomy.
Not astrology, astronomy.
okay.
Go ahead.
You got engineering. Like engineering, that's major right there.
Big.
You got mapping. You got the true map if you're doing it that way.
Mapping. Go ahead.
Okay, mining.
Mining.
We talked about the gold mines
And being
around,
underground and
all
knowing
over.
where you are so you don't get lost with no navigational skills. You're fucked.
Yes, sir. You will be able to do it. Okay, you got ballistics. Now, when it comes to ballistics, I'm like, all right.
That's
Okay,
trajectory.
ballistics.
That's bullet reaction time.
Yeah.
What a minute. Yeah, that's all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, the height and the distance on everything, projectiles,
Yes.
flight, even when you're talking about flying.
Yeah.
You know, so,
Yes. Well, that deals
yeah,
with E
that's
equals
involved.
MC squared.
Yes, sir.
Bingo. Go ahead.
All right. Now, that's the end of the definition. They go into the etymology of it, of that word azimuth, but I just had to get a better understanding of it. All right. Now, when I looked at the navigation, that's where I found that picture of the true north
Okay.
and everything. All right. Now, I was saying, I'm going to read it real quick. It says, in land navigation, azimuth is usually denoted alpha with the A,
Okay.
and defined as a horizontal angle measured clockwise from a north baseline from the meridian. Okay. Azimuth has also been more generally defined as a horizontal angle measured clockwise from any fixed reference plane or easy established base direction line. Today, the reference plane from an azimuth is typically true north, measured as a 0 degree.
Right there.
Azimuth through, yes, sir. Azimuth through other angular units can be used moving clockwise on a 360 degree circle.
Yes.
East has an azimuth of 90, south 180 degrees, west 270 degrees. There are exceptions. Some navigation systems use south as the reference vector. Any direction can be reference vector as long as it is clearly defined. So, all right, like true north is how you really do it. That's why I was calling out those degrees. Okay, here we go. It says quite commonly azimuths or compass bearings are
Is that why?
stated
Is that
in
why? Is that why Kanye named his baby what?
northwest. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
maybe. Yes, sir. Okay. Now, it says commonly azimuths or compass bearings are slated in a system in which either north or south can be the 0, and the angle may be measured clockwise or anti-clockwise from the 0. For example, a bearing might be described as from south turning 30 degrees towards east, and the word in the bracket are usually omitted, abbreviated, which is south 30 uh, east. That's where you get all the coordinates. I understand it now. So south will be the 0.30 degrees east. But
Wow.
all right, it
Okay.
says which is
Okay.
uh
Go ahead.
okay. It
D.
says
D.
which
Anthony.
is
D.
the
Anthony Wilson said we did this in the army. It was called land navigation. Go ahead.
yes sir, yes sir. It says which is the bearing 30 degrees in the eastward direction from south, i.e., the bearing 150 degrees clockwise from north. The reference direction stated first is always north or south, and the turning direction stated last is east or west. The direction or the directions are chosen so that the angle stated between them is positive, between 0 and 90 degrees. If the bearing happens to be exactly in the direction of one of the coordinal points, a direct notation due east is used instead. So,
The
like,
military couldn't use the other way because then they'll be going up in space.
yes, sir, that's right. So,
If the military used Albert Einstein's way,
they will never get
they, they,
nowhere.
they, have, they will be lost because they have to. They be like, well, why are we not going upward? Because we can't. We don't have steps to go all the way up somewhere that way when that's not even logically possible, sir. Going straight up in the zenith that way. You're not going that way. North is that way, like the military teach you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I'm like, I'm looking like, man. They even when they use south 0 point, they still have to refer to where north is. So
Let me
you know
explain
they
it because
may
I see their
use.
faces over there not understanding. What we trying to say in the bungalows? This is what we trying to say, bungalows. Um, your big homie's perception of North when you ask him and you trying to persuade him, North is that way, good blood is that way. It's up in the sky. That not that way. North from a land navigational perspective. Okay, so simmer down. Go ahead, champ.
Yes, sir. So even with me, I'm like, oh man, I'm my brain was thinking crazy. I'm thinking up too. I ain't gonna even front, you know. But to get it right, we gotta understand what they saying. It's a direction north. Yes, sir. Not up in the sky north. Yes, sir. So, man, this Asmo and then the direction, it's showing that same model to be true. Everything is inside also, you know. They not all this other stuff. Yeah, you would be being incompetent. They know they got you if you thinking like that.
Wait. So you incompetent if you a black man and you believe in AI theory?
Yes, yes, you are. When all you have to do is read the law book in Genesis 1, it tell you it's inside the firmament. So that means it's in here, it's inside. It's not way 50 billion years and milk omelet and all of this stuff, you know? So, like, dang, bro, it's just breaking it down to the simplest form.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Find
Hey,
the proof in it. Go ahead.
yes, sir. Hey, Kel, I'm gonna make a run, but I'm calling right back
Yeah,
in.
whenever you like, champion, I'm here. Great information, champ.
Yes, sir. And as always, KevRow nothing.
My man. Look, I'm trying to tell you. So it ain't just me that got these awesome theories or nothing like that. There's all type of people be thinking and wondering great things and I just decided why not just give ourselves an opportunity as black folk to explore Might not. I'm actually letting you know. What if what you think is going on out there is going on in here? Taking the analogy of you spiritualists, of course, to say you think you gotta go external when it's internal. Okay, keep that same energy when it comes to this. That analogy. You got me? That way we can all grow. So yes, what you think is going on out here, taught by Einstein and E equals MC square, and maybe that's going on inside the firmament. Press one, which would make the observer more of an inside job rather than an outside God way out there that you can't see with this back up this telescope, and we trying to get to him. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air? What up? Uh, if you on the air, are we here? Okay, okay, one of those. That's cool. 424-209-9506 is the number. Oh, I think that was Taj. Call back, my guy, because that was good. That was good. We're talking about the cosmic mind. The cosmic mind. Okay? So, that will make, and let's say if God does exist, it's right outside this hemisphere of a space. We talk, well, let me get this one off the wall here. Now, let's talk about here. Let's take Earth as this. God wouldn't be so far away from us. He'll be right outside. For we'll be like a little marble in his little room somewhere. You get me? He wouldn't have to be. I'm talking God here. Wouldn't have to go that far. You're not that much of a threat.
Sasha from
And
Atlanta.
he is the Alpha and the Omega. So he know what you're gonna do, what you was about to do, and all that. And he see your little missiles going up there, going right back in the ocean. Coffee and Kush TV, KevRow University. You on the air?
Hey, Kev, this is Tasha from Atlanta.
Tasha from Atlanta. Nice to hear from you. What's going on?
Well, I was listening to you guys, and I heard B from Texas call in.
Okay.
And the other day, I remember you were talking about the equator. I don't know how far back you brought up the globe.
Yes.
And so I've been circularly. It's east to west. So the north, and I think about it like the what do you call that that funnel? The time.
Rosé Bridge.
East to west. Can you turn it down? So the north,
Well, there that went. A lot of talking. I get it, but I heard too many sounds coming in the phone at one time. As I just logged back in, she was just talking, and sometimes my shit go down. You see how that shit went down? And when I came back, did you hear the multiple voices on the line? Press one. Ooh, that boy Kev gives. Mr. Gillespie. Press one. Mr. Now save that clip. Save it back, run it back, and hear what they said. And you're going to hear them who oppose and are watching.
to accept, press 1.
Mr. Neo destroyed the Matrix. KevRow. Mr. Gillespie himself, you're back on the air. What's going on?
Okay, I'm sorry. I figured what do you call this? This funnel? I'm losing it.
I hear you now. Go ahead.
But the time when you flip it over, what's that called again? So time is squeezed in the middle. I feel like in the just like the infinity.
So you saying there's
symbol.
no time where?
North and south.
North and south. Why?
I don't know.
As a specific
Well,
place? I don't understand.
No. So if we're in the middle,
Who?
right,
Who
and
is-
we're
who-
observing everything around us,
Who is we?
from what you showed,
Who's in the middle?
so from what you showed us,
Uh-huh.
you showed a globe, right?
Uh-huh.
You showed the
Observer
observer,
in the middle of the
and
spheric.
then you
Okay,
show
that's right.
part. Yes.
Okay.
So what my theory is,
Uh-huh.
if you're looking up, and I'm not right or wrong. I'm just thinking if you're looking up, then if you're in the middle, could it be possible that what the okay
I can't
what
hear you.
they're
You're
doing
breaking
is
up.
that they're speaker. Could it be possible that what they're doing is that we're in the middle, and we're not looking? They squeezed us into the middle, so time
Who squeezed you in the
is
middle?
infinite.
I'm trying to get what you're saying.
Infinite.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Who
Okay.
squeezed you in the
Squeeze
middle
me.
of what?
So jumping off a B from Texas. So what I was, you know what I'm saying? So do you not understand where I'm going?
You were breaking up. I'm just
I'm
trying my
sorry,
best to understand exactly what you're saying. So,
okay. So what did you not hear?
the-
So I can repeat it. I don't know what
okay.
part you didn't hear.
Just nothing. Just you can start over if you like. I'm trying to get a fair.
No, I don't.
The
I
whole
already.
thing.
I don't have a lot of time. I just wanted to call that in.
What did you didn't call in? You didn't say anything.
I didn't. You didn't hear me.
Well, God is good. Enjoy the rest. AI.
God is good all the time.
All the time. Now go sit down. Sit your little big-headed ass right over there in the bungalows. Too smart for your own good.
Not like this.
Go sit your little pigtail-looking ass right over there. God is good all the time. You wouldn't know God if God was on earth looking you in your face. You don't even know what God is. You sitting up here talking about we being the observer. There is an observer in science, and there is only one in quantum physics proving my theory. Press 1, Mr. Gillespie's. What am I going to call this theory? Interesting. She act like she gave me something and I'm diagnosing a whole science project. Woman, go sit your little NASA working ass over there in the council you rolled in on. Press 1, and you have me on speakerphone with people you collectively can't even get your heads together and come up with no type of thought process. You know why? Because the cat got your tongue. Now I say the cat got your tongue. Hey man, press 1, they got a black man. I say we got one. Look at your neighbor and say, oh my God, when they hit the county jail, we got one. Woo, we got one who don't touch the gods of the artificial intelligence. Whoop-de-wham. Democrats. Activate. We got one. Yeah, you. Messing with the brightest. Press 1. I'm one that the people can go to and knock on the door and say, Kev,
Press 1.
they out here and they said they want to fight. Coffee and Kush TV, Mr. Gillespie activated you on the air.
Peace, Professor. It's Taj, man.
Taj, go
How
ahead.
you feeling, sir?
Blessed. Go ahead.
There you go. Hey, can I take it to that picture, the other picture of the one of the globe going into the net, and just try to give a different perspective?
Of Einstein?
Yeah. Keeping it in Einstein.
So you want to prove Einstein's theory? Go ahead.
No, I'm not. You can't prove that, Kev.
Why?
You know that.
No, I'm just door open, and you got all type of belief. We're here to listen, and here it is. Go ahead.
I would say it can't be right because they can't balance the equation, and you need as long as they ain't got it right.
You need what?
I said they can't balance the equation without the observer. And they switched the position of the observer into the observed.
So they switch places. So how I'm seeing it is they switch places.
With?
The observer. The observed became the observer. Or they placed themselves as the observer. Let's say that.
And did what?
And removed God from the equation and replaced it with science. That's unbalanced, and that's why everything is like bizarro land. Inverted.
Okay. Everything is like bizarro land, inverted.
Right, because you looking, let's call it like a lens. The perspective, the reason I say it's like a bizarro lens, it's like looking at the opposite end of that lens. So you getting like almost like an inverse. I don't know. You getting a perverted vision. Let's call it that. That's the best way I could put it. Of reality, a perverted perspective of reality through that light,
Through what light?
the false light.
Okay. So you're coming on Shutter Island, right? As a patient.
Mm-hmm.
You and Tasha, and you here saying, I am what? What are you doing on Shutter Island, sir? What do you need my services for? What are you a victim of, sir? Here at this volunteer asylum, what I'm gonna call it, a reprogramming, deprogramming center. So you call me.
Reprogramming.
Yes, I'm Dr. Gillespie, young man. I'm at the front desk. You're walking in. Tasha, you got your group with you, and you guys are here. And what is it that you want and need the services of Mr. Gillespie? What is it that you need?
Dude, bro.
What do you suffer from?
Oh, me? Oh, yeah.
Me?
I
Yeah,
suffer.
you.
I suffer from the system and the effect of LSD 25 and Universe 25 that was projected.
You smoke dope?
Excuse me?
You smoke dope or something? You do drugs? You want to do what? You want me to do what? I'm a psychological healer. So what is it that you're doing here at Shutter Island as a voluntary patient? You're walking here. What is it that you want? What is it? What is your diagnosis? What is wrong with you? What do you believe?
Nothing wrong with me. I believe in the one true and living God.
Something wrong with you. Because before I came and you came in my classroom in the Shutter Island, you believed that the sky and the moon and the stars and the universe and Albert Einstein and KevRow information. Before KevRow, you believed in all type of things, and you still trying to prove the shit. Press one. Agree. So you a patient for sure here at Shutter Island. I mean, I'm willing to help you, but here is not. The state can't recommend you. See, this isn't one of those types of things where I get a subsidy for helping you. This is courtesy of Mr. Gillespie himself. So, but you have to hold yourself accountable about the thought process you had before I shined the light on you. So what is it that you guys are doing here? What do you want? I'm happy to help you. What is your diagnosis? What are you suffering from?
Non-compost mentals.
Excellent. Compost mental. So you insane. Is that what you hold on? So hold up.
I plead insanity, Your Honor.
Now hold up. So you telling me that you walk in here and you telling my classroom in front of all the students, you're gonna be the next subject here. You know that. that you are, in fact, insane. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I knew not what I did.
What you did to get you here, to walk yourself right up in here like this was a L.A. County jail or something. What you did to get up in here?
Well, you know, I realized I need help when I actually seen the truth, the real light. That started chasing the false light that infected me, and pretty much vacating that, because two things, as Einstein would say, two things can't occupy the same space. And as the real light shines, the projected light or the false light, it dissipates and it goes away. And you know, I hold myself accountable. I was
Oh
totally
my
wrong
goodness!
in all of my beliefs.
Stop! You
Yeah.
need that's a lot. Ooh, that's a lot. So you walked yourself up here because you, because the false light and the light one, and this one and that one.
You speaking about just being a part, being. I'm talking about the university in and of itself. That's when I seen the real light. That's what I'm saying. That led me to the point to let me know that it's certain
That you
certain
retarded.
thought processes.
That you retarded.
Yeah,
You got monkey mind.
essentially. Yeah,
You used to believe in like
Monkey
evolution
brain.
or
never that though. I ain't go that far, but it's close. It's close enough though.
My man said
It's
monkey
close
brain, monkey brain. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Taj, you're hilarious. Yeah, my man said monkey brain. That's right. And what you think about the Einstein theory before coming to the road? What did you ever think about that? And how does that play a role
Honestly,
in a person's everyday life or religious construct?
Einstein, before I came to the row, I thought it had everything to do with like atomic energy and nuclear power and stuff like that.
Right.
And then I started seeing things on more of a let's say a quantum level, going down to the smallest, breaking it down. And I seen that like the theory of relativity could be used in like so many different ways, but in particular it could be, you know what I mean? They could apply that to people and apply that to interactions between a group of people that just
To do what? Start saying it again.
themselves,
To do what?
to turn the people against themselves and make themselves into like almost like a self-eating, like like a cancer.
Right.
that is destroying the body,
Right. Is that what you suffer from?
because like
Is that what you suffer from?
at one point in life, you know what I mean? I wouldn't consider myself that. I always consider myself as somebody that want to help and tries to help. But when you don't know what you're doing, it ain't really no way you can help. If you can't diagnose the situation, if you don't
If you
really know
can't
what
what?
you're living in,
If you can't say it again. If you
if
can't
you can't
diagnose
diagnose the situation,
the
then that's why you
situation.
need the doctor.
Mr. Gillespie, I got you. So what? Okay. Okay. So you know They found out, Albert Einstein and them, they found out that your time and perception was able to be altered by way of trauma. Do you know that? MK Ultra, propaganda TV. You're African American, black person.
Indeed.
Okay, so this
Indeed.
is easy for
I'm
me
aware of that.
because you probably suffer from the same thing a lot of African Americans from MK mind control, propaganda, Nazi type of propaganda that stirs up the neurons in your mind and caused a lot of us to think otherworldly or outside of God's law and set, which is set in stone. You have a form of PTSD, and what that means is trauma, sir. Somewhere in there is trauma, sir. And that trauma
Yes, sir.
plays on a loop over and over again like a counterclockwise gear shit. And every time it triggers, you come alive and do what? You still destroy things, or you just pretend you do, or what is that? What do you do when you come alive and you trigger?
When I'm triggered,
Yeah.
I actually get quiet. I just get quiet. I retreat into myself. Let's call it that. The best way I could say it.
You what?
When I'm triggered, I pretty much go into a shell more so.
What makes
Because,
you
you know what I
angry?
mean?
Okay, so you go into a shell. So you got dreams.
Right.
So you have dreams.
At times.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah, you got dreams because you go in a shell. It's like hiding under a bed in Monsters Inc. You understand? So what monster is out there that you're afraid of, or that's there? When you dream, do you dream of monsters? What's weird about your dreams? What you be dreaming about?
Fear, like my fears. And
Of course.
my fear is being incorrect.
But
The
how
fear of
how
failure.
does there's no dream of
And how that
but
manifests.
there's no dream of incorrect. There's not like words that hit you in a dream. How does it play out in your dream, in your neurological brain? What's the image of that? You know, sometimes it play out as this or that. Have you made sense of it?
All right. For example,
Okay.
like when I say a fear of failure or a fear of what I do, I deliver and I install appliances.
Okay.
So my fear is I have a reoccurring dream where I'm working with somebody that I'm not used to working with. I'm lifting up a refrigerator, going up some stairs,
Right.
and that person messes up and I'm debilitated for life.
Right.
Because you know what I mean?
Let's take that as an example for people. Oh.
There you go.
Right. Let's do that. Let's take that type of analogy where you got like a normal fear like that and it comes across as a dream. My scientific theory to that, because it's playing out in your sleep, which is your neurological system and shit, would be that. Do you ever even know the person that? Do you ever see the person that's going to drop the refrigerator with his silly self, or accidentally shoot the nail gun at the back of your head while they playing with it, playing cowboys? You ever see them? Do they look familiar to you?
I never see the face, just the hair
You just
on
see,
the other side of the fridge.
you just see the what? The hands on the other side of the fridge, or something of that aspect.
Just hair.
Just
hair. Hair.
Yeah. That's yeah. I would like we gonna short term it because you at the front desk of the row, but I'ma just short my scientific analogy of something like that will be you afraid of yourself, your dream, this unknown person that keeps dropping shit and fumbling the ball and afraid of, that's actually you afraid of what? Self failure or something like that. Letting people down and shit like that. You know? Not being good enough. Somebody installed that when you was a kid, that you wasn't good enough, champ. And so the little shit that you know how to do, you tread lightly on shit that you should be throwing 100 miles an hour at, because you a natural baseball installer, fixer, appliance person. But you can't even act in your full potential because a motherfucker don't even know what they did to you when you was young, and installed that shit in your brain, and it got you thinking that type of. And nobody probably even know you think of things like that or dream of things like that, but your wife or somebody like that. Did that make sense to you, champ?
Totally.
So thinking on that level, I'm just trying to address it on from my quantum theory, this little Gillespie thing I got. Just think about that and how maybe it's not anybody but you. Maybe it's that little kid that can't get over that find that strength that a father will give you, or an authority figure will install in you, that you will see other fathers. Maybe it played out like that. Stuff like that, because different stories for different individuals, but things like that, that's like a lot of us go through that. A lot of us wasn't given that. So it caused what? Self-doubt in the things that you do naturally? See? And that is an excellent reason.
Sense.
Yeah, that's an excellent reason to be at the road. So yeah, other than a spiritual aspect or allegorical sense, let's just keep it scientific, something that we both can kind of understand and have fun with, kind of diagnosing ourselves, because a lot of us go through that type of thing. So that's crazy. I'm just putting the scientific, although that sounded like crazy spiritual, that was more like my scientific outlook at how dreams are connected to the trauma, which keeps us on a perpetual cycle of self-doubt and this and da 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 da. Psychological shit. So, got a lot of healing to do. That's for sure, internal. And how you going to heal is special. So, that's why you here. You want to know how to heal that, right?
Trust indeed.
All right. You know how we get on a boat and go back in the timeline and go look and break these characters down and go back in time like that? And you've been riding with me, even though you we there. That doesn't matter at this point. The conception is we on the boat rowing backwards in time, right? Going back, finding the secrets of time. KevRow, the shit. You're going to do that with yourself. You're going to go back in time, in your mind, in your universe, observer, and go back and find the little kid that was broken back there and pick him up. Because in the future, it's going to cause so much self-doubt that what? Only you know what you lost, sir, and what the kid is missing. Right?
Right.
That's right. So that makes sense to you?
It make a lot of sense,
All
bro.
right, then. You got to go back and
Make a lot
find
of
him.
sense, man.
That way he can understand the now, the present, and you can come back and say, damn, what a ride that was. Back to the Future, champion. Wow, the quantum theory is real. Trauma is associated with the wheel of time, and I have time traveled to get myself. So you'll be back with a new story and a new, probably tomorrow morning. But that's the good thing, because that's the power of God, and that's what God wants us to know is how He's been with us, and it's all in our conceptual. We can't if He won't do nothing to us and give us nothing we can't bear. So no matter the technology or no matter the thing, that's time travel in my opinion. That's the best part of time traveling. Going back and getting. They did it in Terminator. Going back and getting them. You go back and get you. Press one, cause ain't nobody gonna have you like you. You feel me? I gotta go. I had to go back and get me. You gotta go back and get you. That's how you. Why my faith in God is that much more potent, because I see, the healing process is much more than a YouTube clip or a 5 second meme project. It's a psychological acceptance and self accountability and a want to go be healed. And the way to do that in my quantum theory is to go back and get that healing child. And only you can do that here with the knowledge you learned right here at the row, right?
Yes, indeed, bro.
Boom. My man. Thank you for the call, champ.
Appreciate you, bro.
My man. God is good all the time. Press one all the time. That easy. They be thinking I'm cap. They be thinking I'm super cap. Press one. I don't be capping. I just be playing a little bit. Because if I do it to them, they're going to be mad that so many people will be coming into me. Press one to the 0 point, to the observer's point, to the light. And be afraid that you will shine bright. They'll see the light in you. The darkness hate the light. They can't do nothing because there's a dividing line between it. Press one. Hit that like button. And if you didn't feel that, you a cyborg. And you're going to be cut off anyway. If you have no emotion in that, and you didn't feel that, something is wrong with you. Your neurological systems have been destroyed, and boy, you are dead. I said you is dead. Your space is way out there. You on Earth thinking about how you from Nibiru some damn where. And you ain't even got a car. Let alone a spaceship. They started thinking the propaganda of the aliens was coming back. My black brothers caught up in the Nation of Islam say, Kev, we told you. Brother Ben was right there ready to Instagram me. And then they said it was fake. Guess what? We win again. Not only am I a scientist, I'm a doctor. I'm press what? I'm an intellectual. I'm goofy as hell. But guess what? Guess what? I am the brightest. If that made sense to you, what I just described, press one. If you suffer, watch this infomercial from Mr. Gillespie. Press one, so that it can't do this. If you suffer from, check this out. If you've been having monsters in your dreams, and you tired of the running around, maybe it's the biblical perception of this one, or maybe the ancestor did you that way, and you just can't do maybe you need to come on and sign up to Coffee and Cousin KevRow University. I'm going to teach you how to tap into your trauma and identify the exact point where they took your innocent mind from you. Press one like they did me. You see how strong my peanut head is, my sugar daddy head is? Press my sugar baby head. Press one, I'm on. Didn't go to no school. Press one, that's how I'm at my brothers. I ain't graduated nothing. I went to KevRow University. You know, Hassan came over and was like, Kev taught me the money, and I made $300,000, $400,000, $1 million. How much you give Kev? Did you get Kev a fish, a koi fish, a used Benz truck? Did you show him something? That's one. That's cold. But that's all right. My goal is right here. The gold is in being able to energize a person and change their life from my words. That's what they don't know is the gold is right here and right here. And the belief in God gives you that blessing. Gives you a heart of gold and a mind of gold. A mind of ruby and stuff, knowledge and wisdom. God does that. The school system do it for me. My daddy and my mama and them was like, where the hell did you talk? Where the hell did you get this from? Hit that like button and subscribe. Mr. Gillespie, Dr. Gillespie on the air. What's going on?
Hey, King, it's Edward again.
Edward in the building. What's up?
Taking into consideration, you keep saying that allegorical perspective. So,
Yes.
with your the diagram,
Which one?
yeah,
Which one?
being the observer, right?
Okay.
Viewing the star
Okay.
from the azimuth.
Go ahead.
And I'm just thinking, you mentioned allegorical. If what that means allegorically is that when I look up, I see this world I'm in, and I have God telling me, I'm made from this world, and this world is mine. I'm from here. That these people are telling me, this world came before you. You see what does that make sense?
I'm trying to. Go ahead. I'm trying. I'll hopefully it'll compute somewhere. So you're the observer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christ came before everything, right?
Well, that'll be kind of. Is that counter before? Well, no. God came before. The Father comes before everything.
Right. Made us. Right. That's what I mean. Is that if
I hope that's what you mean. God.
yeah, it is.
God.
It is, Professor.
Let's say it with me. God, His Father.
God, His Father.
That's
Yeah.
right. His Father. Go ahead.
And these people are telling us, oh no, this came before God, our Father.
Okay.
And, this one and that one. And, we're insignificant in the whole process of it all.
So,
And
what's the perception of God in the Albert Einstein religious world today that we live in? What's the concept? Jesus, the son of Mary, concept like from the Catholicism point of view. What is it? What is God to the Christian?
I don't think I'm in a position to say in terms of the church, and because their God is a logical. It's a notion. It's an idea. It's not
So what is God?
command.
Okay, so away from the church to you, what is God that everybody is talking about in the Christian world to you? What is that?
To me,
Yes.
and thanks to your teaching, is that God is the order of this nation, of mankind. And so we've deviated from order. That's why it's so chaotic out here.
So he set the
He preordained
Gotcha.
us, and he had a way of, the commandments have a way of doing things
So
in an
God,
acceptable
so
manner.
to you, God was a real person?
No.
No?
Jesus Christ was.
No,
God's
God's not
the,
a real person. Jesus, his son,
No.
was a real person.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So not real people can have real sons.
Yeah. It seems so. Yeah.
I'm
It's
just
like
asking. I'm just asking.
there's
Just going with it. Go ahead.
that's that in vitro. They're trying to artificially inseminate God into
Well,
mankind.
I'm coming from your perspective. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, So
my
yeah, I'm
perspective?
asking. Yeah, I'm asking your perspective. Is it more allegorical or is it real, natural,
Oh, it's
organic
real, King.
of the land?
It's
Ah,
organic
okay,
of the land.
so
Amen.
so what is it?
It's law. It's lineage. It's history.
Okay.
Ancestry.
So
right?
God, a not person set the law.
God set the law before. Yes.
Before.
Civil law before the
Sir, is God
before,
King
like,
George?
No.
Oh wait.
But God,
If God
so
was a person, would it be
God can work
George?
through people.
Oh, okay, wait. I'm saying from the orchestration of law. You brought up civil law. We're in a civilization. We're in civil law, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Non-allegorically speaking, let's speak if the Bible happened for real in real life, and these were individuals set in law. What would
That's
God
God's
and
kingdom.
the Lord be? What would that be? Who would
He'd
that
be
be?
represented through
Who is
his
that?
people.
Now, who is that? Who would? Okay, so
King George.
So would he be Christ? Would that be Christ?
Yes, sir. The King of Kings.
So
That's right.
So Christ would character in real life. Let's say in the world we see as real life in history will be like King George.
Oh, absolutely. I don't see a difference just only in timelines because of the fact that he kept his name and he honored the Father. Right?
That's what I'm just asking. I want to get your perspective. You see, like you would know, or yes, or I'm just letting the students be them. Go ahead.
I'm in a little church town, and it seems like people do think they will claim Jesus is not a person, and it astonishes me that they're not educated and they have, they feel they have an opinion on the matter.
Okay, so what did Jesus look like? Because he is a splitting image of his Father,
Lord.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, presumably. Yeah.
I mean,
I look like my dad.
So,
right?
The image of, it's just a tough one. It's a tough one. So,
well, they've done that in vitro and made people believe in a sky daddy and a mental image instead of looking at your family and going, who am I in this?
So it was made external.
Yeah, they separated the God in us. Yeah.
Well, they separated the God of God's people because it's written that that's what the Redeemer comes to, is to restore the family. So a separation of the people and the separation. There's a lot of we going on, but there's a specific people that the God of the Bible is come to redeem. Correct?
Right. That's correct, Professor. Yeah.
So those would be the we.
It's just
first.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I say we because
no, I understand. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
yeah,
they are the we first.
And those are those are actual people. Yeah.
They are his
specific.
People. His.
Yeah, and they'll be in the book, man. When in those books, they will be.
Well, they'll be dead because their bones have to be rattled for them to come alive and know who they are.
And who's gonna rattle them?
Well, I'm rattling them right now. There's dead black people in there with dead neurons, and I'm rattling their bones. Yeah. These would be the foundation, same people who were slaughtered back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, and
their names stripped away from them. Their rights stripped.
Uh,
They're the precious jewels
right.
of God destroyed. No name, no heritage, gone forever.
Hell, hellish, man. Hellish.
Foreigners made foreigners in their own land by a corporation of 50 nations who
Oh my goodness.
conspired to come against them. That is written, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So biblical and historical accounts can be seen playing out in historical events.
That's right.
Yes.
Amen. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You threw me off. You kept saying allegorical. I'm like, wait a minute. Doesn't this man mean? Yeah.
So does E equals MC squared exist in the mind? Blah, 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 blah. That's a good conversation, but I like this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, I went to school and for a 4-year course, and they teach theory, evolution. They teach theory of relativity. Like, you know, they're just theories. This is man. So.
Well, if I can get some volunteers to check into the university and hold themselves accountable to and help find and discover their traumas, then linking it all together will be a scientific study made fact if the percentages are right. So hopefully we get some more people like Taj that can go back and make that possible. So I enjoy your conversation. Anything else, champ?
No, but I would like to say thank you for that previous caller and the way you handled it. And, you know, I grew up without a father. There's a lot of trauma.
Yes, sir.
And it's good to see the dots coming together. So thank you.
Well, there you go. Men operating in that trauma, needing to go back and find that kid that you left behind. That made sense to you?
Whew. Oh, my. I feel it in my bones.
That's
I
right.
do. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a rattle bone right there. Thank you for the call.
That's Thank you. Thank you.
God is good. Got him. All the time, champion. Whew. I was really 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 100 for 100. Undefeated type shit. We're going to just keep it at Taj and pretend that you wasn't affected by that. Press what? My man said, I went to school and going, man, oh my God, he gonna have a, you know, but what that feeling is, I'm trying to tell you in my theory. I'm trying to tell you. You were so condensed in that trauma, and you were overloaded. You were overloaded, and too much circuitry was going through it to make your head. It's like a needle being, so you don't know what that is. I just applied the Gillespie algorithm to you and opened up that and gave you Verizon Fios instead of that old dial-up, and opened up them neural links in your brain. And there's no Elon Musk that you got to go to. Just come right here to KevRow. You want to holler. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air? What up?
Ain't no Gillespie in a CQV trust, man. Stop it, man. You steady pushing this Gillespie theatrics, man. You ain't talk about how Gillespie was Masonic. You ain't talk about none of that. I don't know why you doing this. You still panhandling. You acting like you on to something. M equal to M2. What? E equal M2. What type of energy shit you on now? I thought you was all about Jesus Christ. Now you talking about your Jesus? You Gillespie mean Jesus now? G equals J?
I didn't say it.
Like, what's going on here, bro? Stop it. You're nobody, bro. Calm down, bro. Humble yourself, bro. You is a speck, a little speck of a dust in this damn planet, bro. Stop it. You acting like a cancer, parasitic, money-hungry, panhandling. Sign up for Patreon, support on Patreon. Like, come on, stop it, bro. You need to stop it. Look at you. You know you full of shit. Yeah. And you know the sad thing about it?
What is it?
When you supposed to talk about Nipsey, how Cowboys set up Nipsey and everything else, you didn't talk about that. I don't respect you, bro. You're a piece of shit.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. I will
Nipsey
respond,
got set up.
but I understand. I understand, champion.
You listen.
So what we got here, we, he's a continuous student in an asylum. So he's like a little kid and afraid of himself, and he projects all of these things, and he just throws them and throws them and throws them, and you can hear the projection from his heart like an evil Care Bear, and you can see the holographic, tormented soul. That's so sad. It just exists. Little kid hiding under his little blanket from himself. Press one, trying to project that onto me. No, sir. I activate and control my trauma and give it to the people free at will so they can understand we are all the same, champion. So if you would like to call into the show and enjoy this program, shout out to my troll, but God bless him. He's a little upset because he didn't even understand. He didn't even know how to say this. That's embarrassing. We don't seen this our whole life. He over. What's that? E equals MC2. What is that? He don't even understand. That's okay. Long as we were able to help the brother and the other brother who called in like that, because this goes beyond religious or theological or philosophical construct. The Gillespie way. That's why he mad. He mad. He mad because he see it. He like, oh, no. I'm not finna let him be a doctor. Too. Yeah, helping people. He's. That's so sad. He's like a little person. And he's afraid. He don't really know fully how to express himself. He don't understand that he's actually expressing himself, and I've never seen a little Alf-looking Care Bear project that image of himself that way. That's what what I see and hear from an individual is hilarious, because he knows what I'm saying, and he's fighting it so hard. Man, Kev, you can't be the observer holographing himself into this reality, bro. That's not true. So he refused to let me just freely do my Joe Rogan conspiracy night. Press what? He's hot. He don't exist there. KevRow University, you on the air. What up?
What up, Kevin? Said. How you doing, sir?
What's up? I was entertaining my favorite bungalow buddy. But what's on your mind, Sid? Good to hear from you, champ.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that today. You can go sit down, bro.
Go
First
ahead.
of all, I need to sit down. You hit it right there, bro. You hit it.
What you mean?
You with the George Washington thing, with him reinserting himself, but
Right.
also with what you were saying with Taj, because I suffered from the same thing, the same dreams, everything, bro. I had the same thing.
Facts.
And I was looking, I was looking. You remember we were talking about trauma the other day. You were saying something about it, and I've been thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
So I went and I was looking at generational trauma, and the Holocaust victims they claim they have generational trauma that's genetic, coming down from the Holocaust.
Yes. And you don't?
And from what? Right, exactly,
Right.
sir, exactly. So from what you proved, it's all theater. Their Holocaust is all theater.
Yes.
It's a stolen valor. It's a stolen nation. It's a stolen
with
kingdom.
the eye of Lucifer, you see their Holocaust, but with correct vision, you see the African Americans' Holocaust and how they were ripped from the Republic of King George, who was King George Gillespie of this nation, the founder of this nation, and they made a corporate estate out of it, chopped off his last name, cutting off the lineage, the freemen, and all of the sovereigns of this nation. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. He with him being instated into the corporation.
Yes.
Wouldn't that make him? That will make him King George
Yes.
and George Washington at the same time.
Yes.
That be father and son, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And that's why you
They
see
got statues of
King
George
that's why you see
Washington, but
George
that's
Washington.
King George.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And they like the one on top of the Capitol building
Yes.
in at the dome.
Right. In heaven. In the
Kev,
dome.
It's
In
even
heaven.
got a crown of thorns, Kev.
Yes. And
It's
he's
got a crown of thorns.
who? Who?
Washington on top of the dome.
He had a crown of
He's got
thorns.
a crown of thorns.
So
Yes,
it's
sir.
like what I said then.
Kev,
You gotta
what
send
comes
me
out
that
of the
picture.
feather? It's thorns come out of the feather. He's got a crown of thorns. It's feathers. It's a feathered headdress, but it's thorns.
Got you.
Coming out of the feathers. They redressed him.
That's why
as
America
as
looks at
Zeus
George
in Greek
Washington
mythology.
like the savior of the nation, written in the 1828 dictionary, correct? Webster's.
Yes, sir.
Noah's Webster's. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And he's re-imaged as Zeus in Greek mythology. Through
Boom.
the Greeks, through the Hellenistic,
Boom.
he's Zeus. That they retold the whole genocide story
Go ahead.
through Greek mythology.
Through Greek mythology.
Even down to the firstborns being cut off, they can't even reach their parents. They have no recollection of who they are until
Their
they have to
memories
be
being
told.
wiped. So who's their parents? They have been adopted by a dead corporate estate and become black, accepted the role as black, dead in the mind, dead in law.
Yes, sir. And the two
Incompetent, correct?
they create the yes, sir.
Monkey mind.
And that
Go
they
ahead.
create the trident. They create the trident.
They created the trident. Go
The
ahead.
false law. The false law. They create the false law. They hold the trident. Or they, like they say, the sword and the stone. And it has to be pulled out through what will be the observer.
What do you mean? Make it make sense to the bungalows, because he back there wigging out. The caller who just called, he got ADHD. He just back there wigging out. So go ahead, explain to them.
The law that is initially set has to be put back in place. It has to go back into like
A natural sovereign, and not in dead hands.
yes. Yes.
Not in the corporate. Can't be acknowledged in his corporate estate. It's dead. It's bankrupt. The crown must be given back to the king in natural form, which is given
Yes,
and
sir.
ordained by the heir and symbolized as the dove coming down from heaven as a celestial body crowning the king. Correct?
Yes, sir.
It's in religious form. Go ahead, King.
It's that was another point I wanted to bring up. So with George Washington being in my head, I'm looking at, you showed the picture with the observer being on the flat land.
Right.
And you showed the zenith
It's up there. Then
So
I showed
the-
the zenith. Go ahead.
with George Washington standing on top of the dome like that. That would be him standing at the zenith, and there is no one higher than him.
That's right. He's holding the book telling you to
There's
come
no,
on through the what? He's telling you to come
He
up
said, "Do what?"
in the dome. He got all the
That
ladies.
would
He
be-
got all the ladies around and telling you to come, holding the book in one hand and the other hand telling you to come up. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And that would be. That's the ark. That's the Ark of the Covenant, right? That's the temple. It
Go
would be
ahead.
the Supreme Court.
The temple is what?
He's right there. He's right there.
The temple is what? That would be
The Supreme Court.
in our format, the Supreme Court. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And they've taken and they putting all their abominations inside. They made statues of their foreign gods and their
This is
their
crazy.
gods,
Go ahead.
their abominations. They put them all there and they changed the law.
They amended the laws.
Cut Adam off.
They changed the
Yes,
laws,
they
but
amended-
they
they
just
amended
amended
laws.
the laws, right? So they changed
Yes, sir.
and law. They changed God's law by amendments,
Yes,
which
sir.
you helped change by your 1776 Candace Owens Lloyd's of London propaganda approach with this red, white, and blue mythology of who's that holding the liberty? Who's that? Lady Liberty. Go ahead.
Yes, Serapis.
Serapis.
Sol Invictus.
Sol Invictus. A false sense of it too, because now that we're realizing these were all just depictions of what they thought was to come or what it may be, but still from the source of this, like you said, George Washington and its corporate estate, mythology, real life,
And
human being.
they have us from what I'm thinking is like they have us not looking at George, they have us looking at the Vatican and Morocco and sovereign citizens.
Bingo. Everything
That's
outside.
what we looking over there.
That's right.
Yeah, monkey mind. That's what we looking at.
So, as a, let's say, I don't know if you're concluding, but I mean, just to what do you? So,
No,
what does
I mean,
what does it mean? You know, because I see George Washington in the dome. I'm speaking for the bungalows. You got George with the law and all of these right here fighting in the dome of the Supreme Court. This is where law, the instruction, and how the nation is supposed to be ran. Now, what made you say, okay, let's jump. What made you say George reinserted himself in the matrix, which is the corporate estate itself? Go ahead.
Well, from how you explain it, like he knew that he had to do this. It was like a purpose thing. It's like I started reading some of Aaron's Rod. I had been able. It's a little intimidating a little bit, just from how like the words like it's
Right.
such a.
I got you.
But it's making the allegory into real life. It's not allegory anyway. It's tangible. I don't know how to explain it. Using the scripture as reference to create government.
Say it again, using what?
Scripture.
If the everything scripture was, yeah, but that, and then how does it go from the scripture being creating and setting law and it being set, Supreme Court validating it over and over? These are lifetime appointments. This has to be ran this way. This is the will of George. This is something George Washington would leave on his deathbed, type as a trust for those people who worked for the system the whole time. Did bankers steal the trust? Of course. That's what we breaking down. Wake up. Wake up. Go ahead.
I don't know how. I'm not sure yet. I'm listening.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just talking because I'm freestyling. But as far as, let's take it back to the observer's point of view. What do you think about that? Let's go back to the observer. What do you think about that? Since I got you on the line, and the observer's point of view, and what that all means. Go ahead.
As far as like you were talking about the illusion transmitter and how like with science and that part.
Well, yeah, yeah, of course, yes, go. Because that will be space, NASA,
It
how the
makes
world
sense.
works, E
That
equals MC squared, AI, well, Albert Einstein, or artificial simulated life rather than the observer being a human. A human. You can have, a human. And from the
right.
observer, does the world evolve around the observer? These are the questions
Yeah, I mean
of today's
if they're
subject
just
matter. Go ahead.
if they're making if they're just taking and making a copy of if they're turning their science into a copy of what was and what is to be, and that's what their blueprint is, and then what they're trying to do, but they're trying to position it outside of, like you said, the observer being an actual person, and using the illusion transmitter as something to project, um, celestial bodies, and that will make, like you said, the whole science would be off because to me it seems like they're projecting something and then looking into it. Like it's all fabricated. They can
Backwards, and it's artificial, and it's ran counterclockwise.
it's taking
It's
you into
unnatural.
what
Go ahead.
it's like going back into like people say into feudal times almost.
Well, yeah, if you're circling a rock counterclockwise that was
Right.
found in
You would be
Arabia,
going
come on,
back.
think about it. You'll be going back to caveman
Right.
days, bro.
Yeah. You were going back to essentially back into real Nimrod.
Go ahead.
Nimrod himself.
Nimrod, bro.
You would be saying it before Nimrod.
That's why I
himself.
said Islam belief was Nimrod's or Adam's first belief system. This is going back to caveman day, remember?
Yeah, you would be going back into that into feudal times.
Bingo. The
It's
first
Saturday
Adam.
again.
The first Adam's. What was my show called? Adam's first religion was Islam. And
Yes, sir.
boom. It's counter. While in what I'm saying here, this operates. Remember we was talking about the key? Say the key. You can't turn the key counterclockwise. It'll never open.
No.
But if they can convince the observer that everything is happening on the outside, they can stop. And they can stay in that parallel state of mind, that point in time where it's straight up and down. You know?
Right, where they can project both the
If I'm
It's
turning the
an
lock
alien.
one way and they turning the lock another way, that'll create a stalemate. But it's
Yeah.
all based on the mind. See, if as long as let's say the observer is operating in line with the original source of law or God, then no. You need this belief system or AI or quantum mechanics or some outside evolution thought process to take over for the observer to be deceived, but the observer can't be deceived. It's just what it is.
Right.
It's running like the way a clock run. That way.
right, because you find yourself back at 12 every so long again. you know?
Yes.
And
So
that's
they're
like
stopping,
saying,
they're
like the
operating.
trauma.
Remember we was talking about how they were operating in keeping out God while the people are in need of God. That's what it's symbolic of. Is like they're working in opposition to the coming of creating that, like, you remember on Terminator where he said they're trying to prevent judgment or prolong it because you can't prevent it. Just stop it long enough until hopefully. But I mean, the mind of God that eventually come around if God is reborn in the Matrix and break the illusion of what said? Come on, talk to me, King.
I mean, you would have to. Yeah, that would be the illusion of the entire system. It would be the framework.
Oh, that'd be the Matrix. The
It's
Matrix, right?
Yeah. It's almost like this is like a playhouse. It's like a playhouse, man.
What's like a playhouse?
Like you said, asylum. The
Oh,
being it's an asylum. You wouldn't if you like it keep you asleep so you don't see.
sleep, sedated, programmed,
Yeah.
propagandized, so you don't see it. Said. Yeah.
Yeah. You either like they talk about objects at rest. So you're moving so fast that an object at rest basically is something that's vibrating so fast that it doesn't perceive. You can't perceive that it's moving, or it's moving so slow that it doesn't look like it's moving.
Wow.
Like being on a wheel. Like you're on the wheels. You're either way. It appears to be stagnant. Everything appears to be stagnant.
So you think you're going somewhere, but you're not. Treadmill. Groundhog Day.
Limbo. Yes.
The gray area.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Could trauma have you stagnant, said? Could trauma be what keeps that wheel and that repetition of the Ferris wheel in your brain coming back around, that trauma Ferris wheel? I'm a coin phrase it. Could that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Could those be acting as points in time and triggers and traumas coming around every time you're about to heal, and boom, it's a repetitive boom, another one, and another electric shock, and another propaganda electric shock, and another one.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're so filled of propaganda inside the motherfucking Ferris wheel, just been running and running and running and running for 3 days, waiting for grandma to come home and say, turn this goddamn electricity fan off. Who left my fan on and the AC on? Go, go ahead.
Yes, sir. It would be every time we have a figure that or a spokesperson like they present. They rate like every time we have someone's raised up, he's assassinated. It's
Right.
that type of trauma.
Would that be type of trauma? Would that stop of coming black sun observers sitting there to think outside of self? Or would that create a fear-based reality of uncertainty of how powerful he really is? I mean, seeing what? Tupac, Nipsey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ himself. I mean, who wants that job, right? It's the greatest persuader ever. Go ahead.
It's the concrete that rose from the concrete. They chop his head off. They make it appear that way to us.
Right. Because theater is all an illusion.
Yes.
Of course, they coming from that perspective of the world is a stage and blah blah blah. We'll get to that on another show. You got the flow. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And even through this the trauma based, the people they preach to us like we were kings and we were this and we came from like the Abyssinian approach. They preach to us from that approach.
From an Abyssinian confusion of okay, go ahead.
Yes. They preach to us from that approach. They show us they present to us figures that like represent, I guess, what would like a father figure type thing.
Right.
Someone to look up to.
Right.
And it's all through Eastern mythology, and they do the. Remember you showed us that ceremony with it was the fraternities where they had
Right.
what's his name? The pastor, the one in Georgia. What was his
Right.
name?
I have. I know what you.
They
Eddie
had him
Long. But
raised
go
up
ahead. Oh, when they had him raised up. Go
through.
ahead.
Yeah, it's they play us through that trauma. They use this like you said, it's
Well,
theatrical.
that's what you do to ordain kings, is you lift them up, and that's raising up Jesus Christ. That's how uh, the spirit of truth will be raised up. They raised up Eddie Long, a homosexual pedophile, and blasphemy, the even thought of being raised up once again, like you said. And who took part in that? The churches. These
Yes.
people dying of of the curse that set before them, and y'all praise them. That's why I'm done with just the term black people, or we got a black this or black that. My soul ain't for sale. So y'all have fun being mad at me, and I'll be right there to open the door for the gates of hell for you to walk right your dumb ass right up in it. KevRow, go ahead.
Yeah, that yeah. The Eddie Long thing that was crazy.
But yeah, go. What point was you making? Go ahead.
Um, they give us those people though. It's
So it's almost
they
like
present-
counter clockwork.
Yes, sir. Because
Okay.
like the spirit, that spirit that they present, those people that they have, they like from what you show us, bro. Like they have that Peter spirit. They have that soul invictus. Like you showed us with the picture with the see, they got that spirit.
They got
All
the what?
like,
The spirit of what?
like the soul invictus, the worship me spirit.
Ah, Soul Invictus. Well, Soul Invictus is nothing more but a depiction of the living representation of the sun.
Yeah.
So the living representation of the sun in their mythology looks like that. But the real depiction of the living sun is a black man of Centralia or South Centralia, heir of George Washington Gillespie the third, or some stuff like that. See, that allegorical theory versus reality is what is going to separate the real from the fake. It's stand on what's real.
Right.
What's real is what we live in. That's the law. Look at it. The perspective of navigation and dealing with astronomy, not astrology, astronomy and engineering, this one and that one, versus wishful thinking, deadness, going down the universe of nothing, all external. Albert Einstein, the moon, the stars, Pluto way over there, Saturn, men are from Venus and Mars and all of this other stuff. They got a rover on Mars. Elon Musk took a spaceship and put a Tesla on that motherfucker and sent it to Pluto, and y'all watched it and said that was real. Oh, y'all are in the deep anti Christ Luciferian religious belief system, and you ain't even know it. I'm talking to the Christians, not my Muslim brothers, not my Moorish brothers, not my Aboriginal brothers. I'm talking to my Christian brothers.
Right. You're right.
The people who saying they serve the true God, the living God. They serve a dead thought process, a counterclockwise God of all of the same. All of them originated from the Catholic Church, going back to the Council of what? They already know this. And it's been operating counterclockwise ever since. That's why that wheel is sitting in the middle of where? Peter Square? Wow. The rebuilt city where Satan's seat is, a.k.a. Peter. Come on, say it. We got enough
Yes,
knowledge
sir.
and power to already just step on them like roaches. Let's just enjoy these conversations and let people enjoy them. Anything else? Because this is great.
Uh, that's deep, Kev.
Well,
It's even on the this.
well,
I don't have anything else. I don't want to hold it up. Just maybe
well.
somebody else
I
want to
feel.
call
Would you
in.
say
I'm,
you only
I'm gonna
just
call
sit
it.
there like, man, this is.
Yeah, bro.
I got you, man. Anything else, man? Free to call back. My nigga said, good looking.
Appreciate it, bro.
Hit that like button. And like I'm saying, uh I got my I hope y'all signed up to my Patreon because I got a new series coming on the internet and it's dealing with my quantum theory. If you want to be a part of that, like these conversations dealing with said or what we were talking about with Saad or the brother who called in from Canada who just amazed at our conversation dealing with the allegorical concept or the scientific concept and all being thought about right here on the show. KevRow University, you on the air? What up? For what? Go get a life. Enjoy yourself. Jeez, that's why I'm glad he wasn't even on air. Jeez, but we're having an awesome thought process, an awesome show, a future for that conversation dealing with trauma and dealing with call back Florida, dealing with trauma. I apologize. Call back. Uh, Dealing with trauma and how it affects the mind, keeping you on a continuous wheel of self doubt and all of these things that we're gonna call it the trauma Ferris wheel. We gonna coin that here. We don't want to talk about the rap shit. We don't want to. We want to talk about this right here with the Black Joe Rogan.
Press 1.
But the Black Joe Rogan, Kev Gills, you on the air? What up,
What's going on, champ? This Rico.
Rico? Talk to me about what you're learning today. Go ahead.
Man, y'all, I know y'all been, like you said, y'all been talking about a little bit of the science, breaking it back down to the Lord George. So I'm trying to bring it right there too, big bro. Right up in that. And
Okay,
really
so
like
I'm talking about
really
the
kind of,
observer
I'm listening.
position and
Yes, sir.
the satellite protruding out. You see that zenith and observer and versus the AI, which is the artificial eye of Lucifer. Was that telescope called Lucifer? The satellites, the eyes, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you getting from this per se? Go ahead.
Man, I think Cards hit it home before a long time ago, man, when he brought up the theosophy of it, man. And what happened was when I would look up theosophy, I seen like the picture, and it was the tail of the snake eating the snake. But I know again it was the allegory of them being able to bring all of the religions and bringing it to a scientific method and taking the law and bringing it into that type of conversation. But when I bring it back to the observer point, big bro, this is what I did learn and did understand. To me, it is a simple math, bro. You remember you said it one time, I wonder if this all geometry. You remember you said that before? And when you bring
I
up
don't think so,
E
but
equals MC.
okay, go ahead.
Oh, yes, sir. The E equals MC squared. And so you are the answer to that. And I'm saying that to say the answer to that is one. Like the actual answer to E equals MC squared is the one. You are the one. And the reason why text messages right now, I sent you a little picture and I just want to,
Let me see.
conversate
Let me
with
see
you,
where. Let me
bring
see
it
where you at.
where
Let me see where you
Yes,
at.
sir. Yes, sir. Please,
Okay.
please bring it in. With
Okay.
me.
Which
Yes,
one?
sir.
Which one?
Out
Are
there first.
you the 502?
Let's start off at the first picture.
You the
Yes,
five?
sir.
Okay.
Start off at the first picture.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna start off at the first picture. I'm gonna work through the trauma with Rico and press one. And I'm gonna put this picture up because my man Rico called in and he on the right track today. So I'm trying to hurry up and get to his work on here. So what do you want me to see
Appreciate you.
with this? I see exactly With your okay.
So you know that's the KevRow. You know that's the KevRow. You know that's the cross.
Okay,
So
let me
you
bring
know
it
right
up.
there is an I.
That's
Yes, sir.
insane. Okay.
Family, yes, sir, man.
Okay,
It's
so
that day. It's today one of them days, but like it's like,
what's okay? What's one of them days?
today one of them days, Tim. I ain't even. I know you the way you brought it back to right where you brought it to. It was meant for me to call right now. I feel like it was gonna be a couple of months, but I know going just taking us day in and day out,
That's
bro,
right.
to really
That's
start
right.
getting up and really. So I ain't for to even talk about that long. I want to just focus on here so we can make sure that
What you
we
want me
doing
to
what
see
you
from you
able to.
marking this
Yes, sir.
red cross in the middle of this? What does this mean to you?
That's the observer point. So you know, in the middle where you just brought up the observer. So in the middle of the cross, we
Oh,
know the
that's an
Alpha and the
eye
Omega.
in the middle of that dome,
That's the
the
eye of
cross.
God right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. And so we know in the cross, and I'm gonna break the cross down is to be like this. The cross would be when God brought Christ. He said He was gonna break down the wall between us having to intercede in the church, and we was gonna. When Christ laid down His life, He was the first one to beat death, as you taught us. And so because He did that, that gave us the ability to be able to go straight to God with everything and still go through Christ. It's the only door, but now we're able to go to God instead of having to go into the church and have to wait on somebody to go
You
into
go straight to the
Holy of
law.
Holies. So I'm just going to break. Yes, sir. Straight to the law. Yes,
So,
sir.
so
And
would you
so
say,
it's really that time.
would you say, before
I'm
you
saying,
go there,
listen,
would you say George Washington inserted himself into the corporate state upon his death? Yes. Go
I
ahead.
would say when it comes, yes, sir. I would say when it comes to a jubilee, and this being the jubilee year coming up, or if it's this year, I would believe George Washington will be the only one that would be able to be the redeemer and the advocate. He's by law, by divine right, by birthright. That's who he is. He is the GEO. He is the geometry that they turned into science. He is the big G on this earth right now, and God that's man, been protecting His seed down to you, Professor.
Go
And
ahead,
so that's
John.
why I say he really so if you could bring up the not the next picture, but we can go right to where they say the ruler and the compass, or I can just read it. But I'm gonna say this, and so the ruler is a sacred instrument of the perfect line. So I'm going to bring this to the Alpha and the Omega. So when I think about the KevRow, we can see it. It's not on the screen, but I'm going to speak from the KevRow. So when you think about it from left to right, that is the Alpha to the Omega. The compass would be the one. So that's why I say E equals MC squared being the one, because now think about the dome that you're looking at with the circle around it. The circle is the spherical shape. That's God's halo. So I'm gonna bring it right to the Bible. When Christ told us to pray, and you taught me that. You say, my Father who art in heaven. He's the first creator, and Jesus was the Word. But He said, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed means to be the infinity. So God is the circle. We living in God's dome.
Go ahead.
And so when
So you living in the in the
that
mind of God. Go ahead.
Come on now. And
Go
so
ahead.
when you're bringing up that observer point, when it comes to Christ and the Word, and again with the John 16, everything that you've been doing for us is for us to be at the point that we understand it simply, but understand it was simple math that they took and made it into the theosophy and brought it into so really, if you bring that up, I'd rather you bring that picture up right there.
Which
so
one?
The picture of the theosophy is going to be the fourth picture up right above the compass
okay.
and the ruler.
Okay, go.
And so
Well,
when you see that picture,
I'm trying to bring up the compass and the ruler first so that people can
my
see.
bad.
And so the
Yes, sir.
so
No
the
problem.
compass
We
and
can
the
work slow.
ruler.
Yes, sir. I'm not gonna rush it.
Good. The compass and the ruler is what? Because I was asking, was this what I was talking about with that little Masonic little measuring thing that people are showing, like, oh, the Masons, and maybe it's just more.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm right here with you. I had to get you back on speaker.
Oh, so the
Yes, sir.
ruler
the
operates
G
in a
is
sacred
God.
instrument of a perfect line, like a timeline
You
of
remember
events.
talk about how they had to
Oh.
navigate the seas and they couldn't navigate the seas because, hold on, Professor, this phone got you going in and out. Hold on. You can keep talking though, but yes, sir. Hold on.
I see
Well,
it.
yes, sir. We on it today, Professor. This one, we for to show them that it ain't nothing but simple math, and these fools
Man, Professor Monkey Mind, serpents, and man.
Oh, it
ain't
happened.
nothing
That's
but little
everybody.
magi
That's
look, man. It ain't
everybody.
even-
That's everybody. You don't gotta call anybody a name.
Yes,
I do
sir.
it because, all y'all my
You right.
students,
No, yeah.
and y'all the ones with monkey mind. But that's not for y'all to be calling each other them damn. I be
Oh, I'm
just
not
fooling.
talking about the individual people, Professor.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
talking-
You
my
just
bad.
you talk about us. Just
Yeah, I'm not talking about the everyday
I
people.
got
I'm talking about the ones who are upholding it. You know, the ones that is the Pharisees and the Herodians.
all of us is upholding.
That's what I'm talking about.
All of us. All of us. All of us.
Yes, sir.
All of
I
us
think
have
so.
upheld
Yes,
the AI construct
Yes, sir.
and belief system. Some of us
'Cause when I
went
figured out
off
the
into energy and took it this way and went off into different things, but all of us didn't know this before Mr. Gillespie came on the air and began to speak these things and prophesy about the future, the past of events as an observer does. Go ahead, champion.
Yes, sir. You're definitely right about that, champ. Because
I want all
would've
mine.
never
There go
thought
my
it
man
until you
Ali.
listen-
Ali, like, get my man Kev. He gonna fight for his this year. Nah, bro. Kev came with that leveled mind and that ruler mind, that straight up and down, forward and backward, bro. You feel me? The ruler and the compass family. Okay, so he over there talking about
Hey,
some
man, you better
Freemasonic Illuminati. We over here don't, bro. We ain't even scared of that. I told you, he's afraid. He's a little child. He's like a little kid, afraid of like these words make these trigger words. Remember, trauma associated with being triggered activated his ass, and boom, look. Now, in the other instances, the other callers, Taj had a heavenly experience. The brother who called after him, gracious and appreciative of that because he was going through the same thing. The troll calls in, he went through the same thing, but the effect was different. See, he wasn't ready to admit or go back and find that person that was broken. So he chooses to do what? Overly bully, false project his fears, and try to project them on somebody who's been healed for so long. There's nothing he can do about it. I'm like, real, bro. So you're nothing more than a scientific stepping stool in my laboratory. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. And that's why they need to get clear out the way because this that time. This being the Jubilee year, there's no reason for us to play with it. I see it like this. Why would we go in and go to vote somebody when we have enough truth, enough law, enough history to be able to raise up our advocate and be able to take back what God gave not only to his son and to who he sacrificed his only begotten, but to be able to do it for the ones you supposedly say you love and care about. So that's what I'm thinking that the king is talking about us fighting for. If y'all don't understand that, if y'all bones don't rattle up every morning for that, I don't know what y'all really getting up and fighting for and getting money for and going through whatever y'all going through for. It don't make sense to me. But I appreciate you, King, doing what you're doing because, like you said, though, you stayed on your compass and your square and you held it down for the big D. So, like, I'm just trying to do that day by day. Yes, sir.
You know what raised mean, right? You know what raised mean, right?
Because,
you know what raised up mean, right?
Hold on one second.
It's elevated.
Man, you know, I like to go to the 1828.
Well, it's typically raised or elevated to a higher position or an office affair or something. Not like raised up in an allegorical sense, but raised up in a real sense, in advocacy
yes, sir.
sense.
That's why.
That's why.
Right, because the Christ is the office of Redeemer. You know, in the 1828, the Christ is the office of the Redeemer.
See?
So that would be your office. There's only the Christ is.
So there's the Christ is the office of the Redeemer. What made you say the Christ is the office of the Redeemer? Why did you say that?
Because you told us to go look and get our books. You say if you ain't got the 1828, if you ain't got your Magna Carta, if you ain't got your Bible, your King James Version,
you ain't
even
got
the Aaron's Roy, what
right.
are you doing? What are you doing? So,
okay, let's get back to
yes,
this, the ruler and the compass. Come on,
yes,
let's go. Let's get to it.
So right there, if you go to that, if you bring up the theosophy picture, pull up the theosophy picture with the 12. I got the dodecagon shape, which is going to be the grand white shape, and you're going to see the circles within the circles, the Ferris wheel.
Okay.
So the dodecagon shape is the 12 shape out of the
out of because what it is. Okay,
But you don't gotta go there to
circle,
get
the
the.
hollow.
You don't gotta go there to get the wheel or the captain of the ship wheel. Didn't Cat Williams just have the wheel and the circle within circles on his chest as he played the clown, leading them away from the truth? Go ahead, King.
Man, Professor, that's why I understand you really the governor too, because the governor is the only one who has the access to be able to use the wheel on the ship. This is the Ark of the Covenant. I understand that everything is created from this. So what we even learning about this is every molecule, every thought, every breath, meal, the star, the sun, everything is created off of that hollow, the cross being within it, and how God was able to just create that out of him. Just, existence. He created this, but it's built off this simple principle. And that's why I say they took that and made, the theosophy, the Scientology, the astrology out of that. So, like you said, it is simple math. It's simple law. You would take what we're learning about right now. You would take this and turn it into law. That's what you turn into words. Everything is created off of the hollow. God being the hollow, the observer to the center point, and Him being able to be the Alpha Omega, the KevRow. And He gave you the key. You're the key. So you're the that P that we see on the KevRow. And so, like I say, when I look at the decagon shape, that would be why He put up 12. It is 12 constellations in the sky, to where we will always know
in the firmament,
the time,
the times.
Yes, sir. But
yes.
They weren't named. They weren't named as the zodiac. That was done with the. We know who did it, but either which way, there was names. So that was never to be. That was only for us to be able, like you say, do the astronomy, be able to map navigate the waters and things of that nature. And like I say, with the compass and the square, everything starts with the compass and the square. And so, without understanding the truth of the compass and the square, you would take it, like you said, in a Masonic way, and you would use it in a satanic way, Hellenistic way, and your thoughts would be in reverse towards God. So anything that you would create. So when we look at pretty much anything in our existence right now, it is hell on earth in the way that
because the actors and comedians and the entertainers are all operating in the counterclockwise, and there's no more love.
Yes,
there's only jokes, clowning, deteriorated mind. People claiming to be Christ, or I'm God fearing, and let me tell you the truth. And all millionaires is this, but I'm a millionaire who didn't do that. I'm Cat Williams, and I'm in the game with Weinstein, but they're just gestures of Satan's wheel of deception, of time looping individuals into trauma bonding and affiliating themselves with different points within that wheel, and thus creating. Let me coin this correctly. It's called.
Look.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel. I called it the Ferris, the trauma Ferris wheel. Go ahead. And the time loops and the trauma. Go ahead. You got it.
No, I just want to put a name, because, like I say, another name to it, to where we can know to how to be able to go understand it. So I did.
Who is we?
But it is
I am diagnosing. The name for it is memory association by way of trauma. That's where the association comes in. Memory association, and associated to the trauma what keeps you on the wheel. Where is that written? That's going to give the people a better interpretation of that.
I know you said for sure that will is written in Ezekiel, so I know I would have to. I know it's somewhere in there.
So I didn't say the Bible. I said what the wheel of time. We're talking science, memory association. We're talking psychology.
That's why I was
time, space. E equals square.
Yes,
E equals square. E equals MC square. What was he talking about? The 0 point, the beam of light going through the center of the earth.
That's what I was supposed to say about, how you brought up the eye of Odin, and when I was talking about the eye of horse, when I think about the theosophy of it, and how, again, with all these false religions,
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is the trauma that got our people in the self-induced will of time.
I got you.
Now, wait a minute. This is Shutter
Professor,
Island.
let me hit you.
This
Let me
is
hit you right there with that.
this is Shutter Island. This one.
Yes,
This
sir.
is Shutter Island.
For
You're
sure,
coming
Professor.
in here for what? What are you here at Shutter Island for, Rico?
Man, I'm being diagnosed because I realized, being black, dead in law, this was something done. Like I say, that's why I was bringing in a theory, but I'm not even gonna bring it down.
Sir,
Because I'm gonna say
why are
like this. In 1865,
you here on Shutter Island? You just walked in my office. Why are you here?
Professor,
Huh?
so I've been
Doctor,
non-conformist, but
doctor,
I'm really,
doctor.
I'm, Doctor Gillespie.
Yes. I'm composed what? Non-composed?
I-
You said I'm not guilty by reason of insanity. So you diagnosed yourself already. So you not guilty. Or are you guilty
Professor, I was
of
under theological
being...
Nah.
I want you to say it. Just, you
Look,
was under
Professor, come on
theological
now.
what?
Look, Professor, let me say, in 1948, at 19 years of age, Dr. Martin Luther King enrolled at Koza
Sir,
Theological
I'm
Seminary.
not
about
talking
15
about
miles.
that, sir. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you. Why are you here
That's what
at Shutter Island?
I'm saying. That's what I'm under, Professor.
What you under?
Fight. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand how the federal government is able to tell me why I gotta get up and why I gotta go do this and do that and pay these bills and do all this and that.
What you
when
mean?
I thought,
You gotta
when I was born, I
do
was a
this.
free man, but
So
I don't
you
feel
came
free.
to my my
I don't
university.
feel free.
Huh?
Yes, sir. I came to your university because I was just been questioning things, and I was like, I say, Father, if it's one thing I can understand, I want to know if you real, and why is we
No,
here?
no,
And
no,
what is
no.
our
That's
purpose?
not what
And
I'm.
when
That's
the
not
purpose
what
is
I'm
here-
saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm asking is, why are you here on Shutter Island?
Professor, I'm trying to tell you, my mind, I ain't have my mind together, Professor. I'm trying to get out of Shutter Island and get into the kingdom of heaven. That's why if I can't get out of Shutter Island, how can I get into the kingdom of heaven? You feel me? That's
No,
why.
I just don't feel that you even able to understand what I'm saying, and spend too much time joking around and haven't even developed. That means you're too busy trying to teach when you're a patient. You're an asylum patient and you're playing. I don't got time to play with you, Rico. I make too much money. I got too much supporters. Press one. I don't got time to play. People support me. Greater than you can ever imagine, champion. So I wish you well. You're not accepted at KevRow University Rehabilitation Program because you want to be free, yet you want to play at the same time. And I don't play. This is real to me. My life is real. The observer's position, what I see, what I'm saying is real. You keep saying you, and I'm trying to give you a chance. But Rico got that problem of wanted me to teach me. And Rico ain't really understood yet what a student is and how to stay on course. He wants to be the student that he wants to be a teacher that pretends to be a student only to try to teach somebody else's classroom and say y'all and I'm gonna allow you and say all of this stuff that doesn't make sense. I thank you for this conference here though. This is actually going to play well into my storyline. So I appreciate that. I thought you were going somewhere, but you move so fast and make people just forget about it. So, and I see that you're not ready for the next stage of KevRow University, which is more of a psychological approach and how this is affiliated with our traumas, our belief systems, and how we're caught on that rotation. So, um, the ladies have said, you're done, champion. The fellas have said, yeah, brother, you know you messed up with that one. That was a good look he gave you, and you're going to be the first one today to go counter? Oh, you don't deserve to be here. I was fair. Press one, you are in the bungalows, and you are banned from the communication device here because you can't see. So, and it's not my place to say you'll never see. I hope you do but I don't need the distractive, playful like attitude from you. So you can be my favorite troll. You doesn't matter, confusing nothingness, and you don't see my perspective. So that's what I'm talking about here. Cool. If I need to go to the word, I'll just ask Taylor or Miss Deb from Florida or myself or B. You too busy trying to be B. That ain't happening. So anyway, the observer's position, okay, and how it's perceived as a person. And you probably say to yourself, man, that's boastful, man, Kev running around and talking about the observer. He's not finna do that this year. I made too much. There's too. I shouldn't say money in the conscious community. There is an electrical current that charges me up here that allows me to be me. Press one, and I don't gotta bullshit and pretend. This is for real students from real trauma victims, which is us. I've been there. KevRow University, you on the air? What up?
You see how you
Shut up, punk. Breathe correctly. Buckle your knees is trembling when you talk to me, chump. Press one. Shut up, punk. You and your friends. Be quiet for I slaughter your nation and take the women and raise your children. Press one, you incompetent beings, you. I'm gonna call you niggas over there counterclockwise. Sons and daughters of good old Kronos. Odin to you. Set over the mindless dead people by God himself, so that when he is allowed, you go under him for eternity. Enjoy that. So, I'm here to show the people they took this from this. You feel me? So, if a person was an observer on earth at I will call it a treasure cove or a secret location, and the perception of the observer looking at the sun at the horizon may look quite similar to something like this. Bring this up. What an excellent. Did I save that? Oh, it's right here. Yes. May look something like this. Press one. Let me hit that like button and subscribe. May look something like this. You see, from the perspective of what I'm saying here, I actually went with the mind frame as the observer. And here, this is what I'm saying. I didn't go with it. It was kind of natural. But I'm saying this is this facing this way. Can you understand what I'm saying? This picture here. The end of Route 66, let's be honest. In Earth, outer Earth. In Earth, outer Earth. Inner Earth, outer Earth. AI, Einstein, my perception. Inside the firmament. Press one. Same thing. So I'm trying to give you like a different perspective of this, a one dimension thing. I'm trying to show you in 3-dimensional format. They try to use in that spheric perception, so you can conceptualize it. This is Einstein theory, where it being external. You see the what it's trying to mimic here, which is probably nothing but the brain of the observer anyway, creating a false or outer perception of one's neurological brain system, meaning you live in the mind of a genius or a G or an observer or 0 point, as you will call it in, you know, uh, your quantum or your sciences. It'll be nothing more than in real life a person. You ever seen these movies where they went back in time and murdered the kids before they closed the loops or alternative theories in times? Well, I'm one of those kids. And what I do is shred false timelines, family. And they missed their mark. You hear me? They missed their mark. Because all the timelines will be destroyed. Any ones that doesn't really exist. So if your thought process, if your mind, if your life evolved around some false sense of time or some wonderland, it won't exist on Shutter Island. Because here, your false senses of counterclockwise time and events of 1,000 years doesn't exist. Especially in the original timeline. Anything outside of that original front and back timeline. You know, this one here that Rico was able to get off here, which was consists of the ruler, the sacred instrument of the perfect line, or I will say timeline of events in history. Press 1. You get what I'm saying? Hit that like button, boy. I got them going crazy out here, y'all. I got them. KevRow University, let your light shine. You're on the air. No, I bet you thought you was about to get started. I sounded like I was about to let him go too. That's so sad. That's so sad. The divine keys to a perfect work. You see? So us going in the timeline fashion from forth to is operating in the ruler. Huh? We're going to talk more about that. I don't want to give too much of the information. Too much of the information. The ruler's position. Press 1. So all of these words is awesome. I love where we're going and being able, because I don't want to, I chose this way because I didn't want to condemn nobody no more. And that's my new self, is I don't want to condemn you for what you don't know, or if you do know it, I want to show you how incorrect you are at knowing knowing what you think you know, and just adjusting your spectrum and getting you and putting God back in your life, and how God is the architect of it. Where you're supposed to be operating from if you want to see it and experience it and see the wonderful works of God and how he did it in this sacred geometric graphic this. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. Shout out to y'all in a real way. Shout out to the people who contributed to this program. If you would like to support this program, you can always hit me in my Cash App. My cash tag is Gills Gang. This is probably an overwhelming amount of information. So going back to that, press 1. These are just theories now because I'm, again, quantifying that. So inside, outside. Make sense? So if you're an ancestor Pan-African believer of quantum physics, it's all external. You can't believe that and go internal with your yoga or your there's no reason for you to be operating in these types of formats where you are going counter clockwise to God in yoga positions, talking about you had a spiritual encounter when, in truth to be told, you were operating backward. You can't serve two masters. You can't be going forward and